how loud do you think? I can't scream the way I do at home, though.
Do it.
Just be normal.
Like normal for normal people or normal for me normal?
That's a loaded way.
Just hear me saying be normal and then go.
But there's so many people here.
Be loud. People will know if you're lying.
What are you talking about? Just you'll be fine.
I'm loud in private, but in public I feel weird being loud.
Yeah, I know. You can't have that.
Welcome to the Ringer Fest. So
no,
loud.
That's definitely
so loud.
No, that's quiet.
Really?
Yeah.
Welcome to the Ringer Fantasy Football Show. My name is Danny Heifetz, and I'm joined in person in New Orleans by Danny Kelly and Craig Horlbeck, and we are here live on Radio Row. I have no idea how much of that we just kept, but yeah, we're literally surrounded by thousands, hundreds, I don't know. But yeah, nobody really said anything when I did that, so I guess it wasn't that loud. Boys, we're in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Totally.
First time in New Orleans for me, not for either of you.
Yeah.
I'm having a great time.
One
it's
day,
great to see you both.
One day we'll have Craig share his thoughts on Bourbon Street, but probably not today. So we're going to go over.
Today is not that day.
No, we're going to go over prop bets. Honestly, mostly prop bets. Mm-hmm. And in between that, a ton of stuff happened between when we recorded the Thursday episode. We banked an episode on Thursday and ran it on Monday. And then I think 100 things have happened that we have to roll through. And then we'll get to prop bets. And then also at the end, we're going to do some emails, including we're going to have to hash out. We're going to have to start hashing out two things. The terms of DK's middle seat raw dog flight, where he has to, and again, to remind people, we're flying from New Orleans to Los Angeles for show on Sunday night from the Super Bowl, because if we were at the game, we couldn't really listen to Tom Brady announce the Super Bowl. You only get to see Tom Brady announce his first Super Bowl one time.
Yeah, we couldn't have DK just raw dog the drive to the Super Bowl.
So DK is going to have to sit in the middle seat from New Orleans to Los Angeles with no books, no flight, no movies, no TV, no music, nothing. He's got his own thoughts for 4 hours. We have to figure out the terms of that and how we're going to make it content without him actually being able to do anything. And then, we're going to go through. We have to also keep emailing us at ringerfantasyfootball@gmail.com for the Tom Brady drinking game. We have good stuff on that. But yeah, starting with Ringer Fantasy Basketball Podcast. Luka Doncic traded to the Lakers. Craig, were you awake? Because I woke up to it in the morning.
All the East Coast people had no idea.
Yeah.
No.
I was awake. It was like 9:30 or something, 10 o'clock. I was actually out to dinner with my dad and my brother in San Diego. And my brother's friend literally called him to tell him the news. And he's like, are you on Twitter?
That's how big of a trade it is. So
Dude, I feel like
it's the biggest NBA trade ever, probably.
No one's called me in like 6 years.
Dude, your friends who are dudes don't call each other. Like they could have some horrible diagnosis and they wouldn't even call you.
Sadly, he was a Warriors fan, the guy who called us. So I was hoping it was a big Warriors news, but it was not, alas.
So
yeah.
There was an email. I think Brian emailed in and actually had the same analogy I did, which is
Brian.
In football terms, it's kind of like if the Bengals traded Joe Burrow to the Rams for Matt Stafford and a first-round pick.
Yeah, that's a better comp, because Schefter tried to do Burrow for Lamar, but that's not correct.
No, it's not at all.
It's the same age.
Because you try to rationalize it, and you're like, well, maybe they're worried about Burrow's wrist. And you're like, so you got Matt Stafford?
Yeah.
And it's like, that's the
guy with the back?
The Anthony Davis?
Guy 6 years older who's always hurt?
The unibrow guy who can't play? It's like, oh, my God. But I just shout out, a bunch of Ringer people had great, and there's so much on the ringer.com, great website about this, but just to steal some lines I saw there, Howard Beck had the headline, probably would have been the biggest return in a trade in NBA history.
Yeah, for reference, like Mikal Bridges got 5 first-round picks for him, and the Mavericks got 1 for Luka Doncic.
In like 2029 or something?
Dude, it's
for a long
2029.
time.
No. Well, that's the whole other thing we have to talk about one day, how the NBA started trading picks in 2031.
The Lakers have 2 2029 picks, and they only had to give away 1. Not even both.
But this really was a fantasy football trade. How many fantasy football trades are you just like, oh my God, this person gave up like Saquon Barkley?
It's like, why didn't you just tell the group chat that you were shopping Luka Doncic?
Yeah.
I would have given you something way better.
You gave up Anthony Richardson and Josh Downs for Saquon, and you're like, just call me.
Yeah.
Put it in the group chat. But the other one I love, NBA history in the playoffs, points per game is number 1 is Michael Jordan and 2 is Luka.
Yeah. But he's
from an outsider's point of view, because I don't follow the NBA very closely.
Yeah. What was your takeaway?
My takeaway was like, okay, so this is the most massive trade I've ever seen in my life, right? And that's basically how people were reacting.
Literally and figuratively, yes.
Right. And then people were saying, there was like immediate excuses. Oh, his conditioning's not that great. And I'm like, oh, really? Okay, so his stats went down last year, right? Or his stats
they made the finals.
His stats were bad when they went all the way to the NBA finals. His stats, they weren't good, right?
Every year they've gotten better.
No, he gets the ball more and more efficient every time.
34 points per game. It was like almost a triple-double.
Look, the way
Like, who
things were
gives a
trending,
shit
next
about
year
his
he'd be
freaking-
300 pounds, but they'd win the finals. And you got to be okay with that.
The only other here's the question I wanted to ask you.
It was the most overthinking, trying to get ahead of a problem that doesn't actually exist yet.
Russillo on Bill's pod, the emergency show, is like, don't get this in front of it, was really funny.
Yes.
But here's my question. If the Lakers had also put LeBron in the trade and Bronny, isn't it still kind of like, I don't know if that's enough?
Yes.
Like they could have just added
absolutely.
LeBron.
100%. The thing is like, it's not like the Mavericks are more likely to win the title this year, and they're definitely not more likely to win the title in 3-4 years. So
Can you guys explain something again from someone who's a relative outsider to the NBA? The beer getting taken away from Luka situation.
Yeah.
I want to hear about this. Like, what was the impact? Is that really as big of an impact as people are joking about?
More impactful than the Burrow. It's kind of the Burrow water bottle gate of this, but this one actually was real. I do think that they were weird.
I watched the replay of him. Like, the way he looks at the guy who takes the beer away is, you just can't.
You could see him in the moment file it away when he shrugs, and he's like,
was it the GM who took it away?
I think it was the GM.
His dad was there also.
I think it was the GM who took it away.
Nico Harrison.
He looked at him like, what the fuck? And then
Imagine if
he's
someone
like, he
did
like
that to you.
shrugs.
Imagine if someone did that to you and you're like, it's kind of a power move to take a beer away. And then imagine if you were like an NBA player who's the best player.
I think it is a real thing, and it matters to a small group of people in the front office in Dallas, where they're like more upset about it than anything. But like, okay, he's amazing.
34 points per game,
so with
10 rebounds, 10 assists.
So with all that said, starting out the prop bets episode, I think this is an important place to start because we have a very important principle here of the Costanza that when everyone, like, if every fiber of your being says something, do the opposite. The Dallas Mavericks are 41 to win, 41 to 1 to win the NBA title.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a good zag yet. I hate sometimes there's like huge news, and it's always fun when there's like multiple takes on either side. This one is so one-sided, it's a little boring.
But they're 41 to 1. I don't know if you noticed. There's only 30 teams in the NBA. They're 41 to 1 to win the title. They did the trade because they thought it would make them better this year.
Yeah.
This is one of those situations, Craig, though, where
Anthony Davis is currently hurt.
Everyone thinking the same thing means almost invariably that it's going to be like a terrible trade for the Lakers.
I kind of just want to bet the Mavs to win the finals.
Yeah.
We should.
All right. So we can just keep rolling. So other LA
I like that we started
is,
with that, though. That's
I know.
Good.
Other LA trade. Anything else on that?
Are you mad as a Warriors fan? Are you really upset about this?
It's
maybe. Yeah, I guess the fact that we maybe could have got Luka Doncic is upsetting. So sure,
well, it's just,
right?
It's crazy to think if they had just called anyone else, it would have spiraled to like, well, no, you can have like 5 first-round picks.
They would have gotten
Shield's
as
taking
many.
a picture of us. Just come over here, Shield. Just come over here. Just come here.
They would have gotten as many first-round picks as the NBA would have allowed before Adam Silver vetoed the trade. Probably.
Bizarre.
Yeah.
What did you think of the Luka Doncic trade, Shield?
Are you recording right
now?
Yeah,
we're live.
Oh, you are? Okay.
No, we're doing a show.
I was trying to take a picture and be nice, send it to you later. You know, and actually,
That was thoughtful.
This guy, you
Yeah.
know, what did I think? Great move.
For who?
The Mavs.
Oh.
No, I can't zag. I would love to
Yes.
zag. I can't zag.
We haven't seen a compelling zag yet, so this would be
My
good.
comp would be Lamar Jackson for Max Crosby. What do you think?
For Max Crosby.
Because it has to be someone who everyone agrees is good, but still, why would you do that? You can't be doing that.
I had Burrow for Stafford.
Yeah.
And a first.
Where it's like, it doesn't
And a first. Burrow for Stafford.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, well, maybe if they're worried about
It's
Burrow,
like,
but
are
you're
we
like,
better? Probably not.
Yeah.
But I guess he's still good.
I would agree. I don't remember a trade like this that just everybody was on one side.
I know, that's what we
It
were
might have
saying.
been the Bill O'Brien, DeAndre Hopkins, David Johnson,
yes,
right? No one
yes,
defended.
yes.
I mean, they leaked a couple things to
Was that
national people.
for
who were
David
like,
Johnson?
Yeah.
oh, yeah, he was in there.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, I think that was the one that probably best correlates where you're like, what is Bill O'Brien? It just got panned by
Yeah.
everyone.
Right.
Like, this is crazy. All right.
That was, that was a great.
good. You can still take a
That
picture.
was a
of it.
great NFL insight
Pop
from
in?
Shield.
That was a good pop.
Have a good shot.
Thanks, Shield.
That was. I had never heard the Deion. That was a
was
great
pretty good.
It's a
insight.
good
That was
example,
pretty
and
good.
also that didn't age well for
No.
the Texans.
No.
We almost did an episode that summer. The summer after David Johnson kind of
Oh, yeah.
disappeared.
Are
We
we going to
almost
give this idea away? This is our oldest
it's been
idea.
so long. You can't do it now. We have to do it for a new player.
No, we're going to, we'll save it for something. No, I guess we could.
We were gonna. It's fine. We were gonna
Alright,
do a
fuck it.
true crime podcast documentary episodes about the disappearance of David Johnson.
Yeah.
because he was like the best running back in the NFL for 1 year, and then
Like in
truly
this-
fell
in-
off the face of the
Like
earth.
in the mode of like Serial or
Yes.
whatever.
Yeah, we were going to do serial.
Taking
for
it very
season
seriously.
for David Johnson.
Yeah.
All right, so other NFL news, speaking of LA trades, so Cooper Kupp is getting traded probably, and he tweeted out a thing, which we'll have to get this too.
Really
the new
sad.
thing where NFL players are doing trade news like it's whatever.
Him and Luka, a lot of players saying like, man, I thought I was going to be here my entire career.
Yeah, so I won't read the whole tweet, but basically Cooper Kupp said, I was informed that the Rams will be seeking a trade immediately and will be working with me and my family to find the right place to continue competing for championships. I don't agree with the decision and always believed it was going to begin and end in LA. I think that this one also is not like the Luka thing, but like the Luka thing in that I feel like there's only one way to see it, not as starkly, but I'm like, I feel bad for Cooper Kupp. He seems to be a good guy and a good Ram. I also think he's being paid too much for the Rams to keep him and they should trade him.
Yeah.
And both things are true. I feel bad, but also like, yeah, he's not worth the $28 million cap hit. He's $5 million guaranteed realistically. And I'm like, yeah, they should get rid of him. Sorry.
Does this mean though that they ultimately will just release him?
That's
because usually when you hear about a team shopping a player, it's like because it's not working out, they would have already traded him if it.
Well, because those rumors came up earlier in the season that they were thinking about trading him.
So when there's a huge gap between your guaranteed money and your actual cap, what you'll be paid,
right?
And there's a deadline, like a weekend to this, like March 17th, call it. They have like 5 or 6 days in that window to make a trade. What happens when there's a gap is if the player wants to be able to like pick their location for like winning or whatever, a big contract, he can redo the deal to facilitate a trade, or he can hit free agency. And I think that's kind of the question is like, does he care about winning? Does he want to go to a team that's going to win a Super Bowl? Does he want to try to get the most money? And what's he going to do? And how much demand is there for him? Because sometimes teams will pay up a pick to not let him hit free agency and just take him.
Right.
So that's kind of the question.
So he's guaranteed 5, but if he stays with the Rams next year, they'd owe him 28.
Yeah, which is
if they cut him, how much do they have to pay him? Just 5?
I have to double check. It's like 5 or it's not a lot. So I think the teams that I think could use him are like,
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh
He would
or
actually
the
fit in
Ravens.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I would.
I think that he needs to be a better version of kind of what Hopkins honestly is for this Chiefs team, where it's like he can rotate in, it's veteran savvy, but like he really needs to be almost like a Kelsey, where it's like we're going to use him later in the year. Like you need to preserve his
he
body.
shows up when you need him.
Yeah,
kind of situation.
So, I mean, the Bills just got Amari Cooper, but I think there's a similarity there. But
this doesn't really work. But if he wants to stay in LA, you could say, hey, look, it is going to begin and end in LA. We'll just trade you to the Chargers.
Yeah, you don't have to move. Yeah,
him and Ladd are kind of redundant, but
So
it's also like you got to take into account like he fell off towards the end of the season.
He's I don't want to call him dust or wash because I have respect for him.
I still believe.
Well, and he's probably battling through some injuries too.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
I'm a little worried. The injuries, when you have the injuries he has at his point in his career, it's hard to then go through a season without injuries.
Do you remember? That's true.
I'm going to drop my whole water bottle on my computer in the middle of a giant show.
That would have been good.
That would have been tough.
Do you remember the start of the year? Cooper Kupp was killing it.
Yeah.
His first month, he was one of the best 10 receivers in the league.
Yeah, and I think that it's kind of like if you can get him to that point for December, that would be pretty incredible.
Yeah.
And I think you have to man it. But that's the problem is the Rams have as good of a training staff as anybody. And that's the concern is, honestly, he's probably going somewhere that...
Get him on the Cowboys.
Why? Why would you do that?
Dak needs some help. They don't have a number.
So he could be blinded by the sun? How's that going to help?
Well, injure him even more.
Other trade news. So Myles Garrett, the defensive end of the Browns, wants a trade. He had a real, I mean, this is getting out of control with like how the posts are, like I feel like there's more and more production value to the social media PR posts.
PR handling, yes, it's getting out of control.
There's honestly, I'm starting to feel like an old man because now the high school kids used to post a whole thing when you like pick a college. Now kids post a whole thing when they like get an offer. And this is, and anyway, now boomer corner. But Myles Garrett said, after the season that he wanted to hear a plan from the Browns about how they would win going forward. And spoiler alert, I guess they didn't have one because now he like publicly says he wants a trade.
Prestige worldwide.
Why?
That was their presentation. Did not go well. I want to trade.
The Browns, man.
I think that this is also part of the Saquon Barkley effect of Saquon leaves the Giants after wanting to stay there. They kick him. They tell him to kick rocks, and he immediately has 2,000 yards, and he's got the most yards ever this season for a running back, and he's going to win Super Bowl MVP if they win this game. And I think every great player on a bad team looked at that and was like, "Holy crap, he's living what my life should be."
Yeah.
And I really think the jealousy is like this Super Bowl week is absolutely to me the reason for the impetus.
I mean, especially the Browns have the least hope of probably any franchise. Like even other teams that are terrible right now. Tennessee, you could argue whatever number one overall pick. Maybe the Giants are equally as in a bad spot as the Browns, but like the Deshaun Watson situation, Deion Sanders basically not allowing Shedeur to go to the Browns. There's nothing for Myles Garrett to look forward to.
Also, he's just going to be Joe Thomas again, where he'll be like, he literally put in it. The goal wasn't to go from Cleveland to Canton, which is very much saying, I don't want to just be a great player on a shitty team for this whole time. Like, I want to actually win a Super Bowl. And so I was just looking at, so it was funny because it's kind of like, what would you pay for him? And on one hand, it's like, well, he's 29, he'll be like 30 soon, like, making a lot of money. Do you give up 2 firsts for a highly paid player? And I'm like, all right, well, first and a second, sure. And I'm like, well, here are the teams I think should give up a first and a second for Myles Garrett.
It's all the good teams.
Well, it's Buffalo, Detroit, Washington, Green Bay. I don't think would do it, but they should. They need a pass rush. The Falcons should do it.
Green Bay.
Like all those teams are mostly in the NFC except for Buffalo. And I'm like, if you actually have 3 of those teams all offering a first and a second, at some point, someone's going to be like, fuck it, let's just do 2 firsts. And I kind of do think they could get 2 firsts for him because he's so good and he is like, that is exactly what you need to get a.
Also, like, 2 firsts from Buffalo or Detroit is very different.
Late first, right?
It's 2 picks in the top 20, like 228th overall. Like Bills fans would definitely trade their last 2 firsts of like what, Dalton Kincaid and Kyrie Elam, they would trade for Myles Garrett.
Yeah, I mean, the team the most desperate defensively is probably Atlanta. That makes a lot of sense. But in terms of teams that are actually in win now mode, truly win now mode, Detroit. Buffalo's a great one.
Yeah.
I'm happy for him. I hope he gets somewhere good.
Do you think he'll actually get traded?
Well, that's the other thing is, where do you think the NFL is at with wanting to do right by players and sending them somewhere that they are happy with?
I mean, the part of me wanted to be like, what do you think? But I think that the real answer is it's about the player. Like the Rams, the Lions sent Matt Stafford to the Rams because he went to ownership directly and was like, please, I've been a good guy.
Yeah.
Like, come on. They're like, all right, you have. And they sent him to the Rams. And for the most part, they don't care. No. I think it takes a very special kind of player. But this situation with Myles Garrett is not one. If there is any team that's on the opposite end of the Luka situation and it's going to shop Myles Garrett, get the biggest return, it's the Browns. Like literally the Moneyball, Jonah Hill and Moneyball is like still in the Browns front office. Like, the aggregate guy. And I think that they're going to, for the most part, be like, you don't want to deal Myles Garrett. But if they can, they will start looking at like, okay, maybe we tinker this thing. Maybe we get a quarterback somehow. If they get Cam Ward and 2 firsts, and if they could do that.
So they're not just going to go to one team, get one offer from one team, and then accept the deal.
No, well, you could. I mean, maybe
like a pretty low offer. Yeah, and then
kind of the first offer that comes, they're not going to accept
because they're busy. They have other things going on.
I was going to say, like, it's not like people have lives to live. You know how hard it is to. When was the last time you guys called 29 teams?
Right.
This is like how I trade in fantasy leagues. I'm like, I don't have time to do this. Like, sure,
he could have fucking tweeted it. Like, Luka Doncic is on the market.
Yeah.
It would have been better.
Yeah, but like, you got to
field all the DMs.
People are going to text you.
It's a lot. All the comments.
Right. Ugh.
I know.
It just sounds hard.
PR people up your ass.
Whatever. They probably weren't going to win anyway. It's fine.
Yeah, and then if he waited till the summer, he would have had to deal with that while he was on vacation.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
July.
You do it in the winter.
Yeah, I think that's smart.
Yeah. While Luka's at his fattest, He's just finished hibernating
through winter. I actually crafted an entire Instagram with Carlos about DK while he was flying. He didn't have Wi-Fi. We crafted an entire DK trade request for Myles Garrett that we were going to post. And
it's because I don't want to do the raw dog on the airplane. Yeah.
Also, have we not learned that the best athletes are the fat ones?
It's almost unambiguous. The belt. I don't
padding.
Yes.
Between Mahomes, Jokic, like the guys who are out of shape and great are clearly better.
Yes.
It's obvious.
That's 100% true. Nico Harrison
is really funny.
Is playing checkers.
You know who's ripped? Will Levis.
Correct.
Will Levis sucks.
I mean, that's all you have to. That's all you have to say.
Yeah.
Look at the Mannings.
I mean,
look at Brady.
Dude, Myles Garrett's in pretty good shape.
Ripped. Well, the defensive end is kind of a different situation.
Who?
Right. Myles Garrett's in decent shape.
Oh, he's all right.
Yeah.
Chip Kelly signed on to be the Raiders offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Which I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I've ever taken the Raiders more seriously in my entire life. Probably since 2002 when they made that Super Bowl. Then Tom Brady owning it, and then it's like Pete Carroll's the coach, Chip Kelly's the offensive coordinator. I'm like, okay, that's actually like a lot of adults. That's a lot of adults in the room.
They tied Mark Davis down and made some smart decisions and got some adults in the room.
I also feel stronger and stronger now that because the Raiders did this. And again, the coaching in this division now is actually pretty crazy. Like you're gonna have Chip Kelly on offense, Pete Carroll on defense versus Jim Harbaugh on the Chargers and Andy Reid and Sean Payton. Like that's actually a crazy amount of experience. But then I'm more confident than ever that Shedeur Sanders and Deion, they're going to force their way to the Raiders, and they're going to tell everyone thanks, but no thanks.
The Chip Kelly hire makes you think that even more?
Yes, because I just keep thinking, Deion, he's homeschooled his kid to be quarterback. He clearly has had, frankly, you could argue, the most active hands-on campaign to make his son a starting quarterback anyone's ever had in the history of the NFL. Like, he literally started coaching his college team and built a D1 program and got Travis Hunter entirely just to make his son an NFL quarterback. And now at this last stage, do you want to hand him off to Chip Kelly, Pete Carroll, and Tom Brady, or Brian Callahan with the Titans, or Stefanski with the Browns, or Brian Dable with the Giants? And it's like, if any of these teams have an 0-4 stretch, can't handle Stephen A. Smith on First Take talking about Deion take their job. The Brian Dable is not going to survive that. Callahan's not going to survive that. But like the Raiders, like Pete Carroll probably doesn't even have streaming. He probably can't even turn on.
I know
YouTube.
He doesn't have streaming for a fact. I love Pete Carroll for what it's worth. Do you think though? I think you're correct in all of that, but the Raiders have the 6th pick in the draft. Mm-hmm. At a certain point, there are some things that are truly out of your control. Deion can try to persuade them to trade up with somebody, Cleveland or whoever, but at a certain point, like if Tennessee wanted to take Shedeur, they're taking Shedeur. And there's nothing the Raiders could do.
But I think what Deion literally does is he goes to the owner's suite at the combine and he literally walks in and he's like, here's the deal. This is business. Everyone's got to do what's best for themselves. And I think that, I don't think that this situation's best for us. I think, and if it's not best for us, it's not best for you. And I think that, I'm coming to you here like a man, telling you your face, I don't think this is best. And we're going to do this quietly and we're going to keep it private. If you want to go loud, we can go loud.
Yeah.
And it's like a threat. And the difference is when Eli Manning happened 20 years ago, the charge is like, well, we'll just take Eli. And if they really want to pay us, cool. If we keep him, cool. The difference with this one is if you keep him, it's going to be worse for you than them. Like you will not survive the scorched earth with Deion and Shedeur. Like none of the people there are strong enough. And Tennessee, Cleveland, like it's all too tenuous. And so that's kind of where I'm thinking, where maybe someone takes him and wants to flip him to the Raiders and make the Raiders pay. But
that's what I'm wondering is they take him just with the idea that we can trade him. But
I think the flip side
who has the leverage there though? Like let's say the Browns drafted Shedeur. Do the Raiders have the leverage in that situation or do the Browns?
I think the Raiders, because here's the thing. It's not like Deion works for the Raiders. The Raiders can just be like, nope. And the price goes down because then, you know what I mean? Like the Raiders.
The Browns lose their leverage. Yeah. Because the teams know they have to trade the player.
And that's the problem is if you just stiff them, I don't know. But we'll see. I don't know. It's a game of chicken, and I'm going to bet on Deion Sanders in the game of chicken. I don't know. The other thing, so the Commanders are keeping their name. Washington Commanders controlling owner, I'm reading from ESPN. The AP. Washington Commanders controlling owner Josh Harris said Monday the team name is not changing. Harris said the name is here to stay after inheriting the name Commanders when they bought the team from longtime owner Dan Snyder. And then Josh Harris says, I think it's the Commanders name is now being embraced by our team, our culture, our coaching staff. So we're going to go with that. Which I really think confirms what I'd already thought, that they were going to, if the Washington had gone
they were bad, they would have changed it.
If they had gone 5-12, they would have changed the name, but now they almost made the Super Bowl and they're like, well, we can't get rid of it now.
Do you think if you were a Washington fan, would you have rather gone 4-13 and then you don't have to be the Commanders for the rest of the time, or gone to the NFC Championship?
The second one.
Okay. Yeah. It's close though.
No.
All the names are weird though. Giants.
I mean, all the other names were not. All the other names in that pool when they chose Commanders, I thought were pretty bad too.
What? No, there was a couple fun ones, right?
I just think any name's kind of weird if you think
about it
too much.
We're all anchored to like what we know, where we like names that have been around for a long time just because that's what we grew up with. And I'm sure Calvin, your son, who's 5, will just think the Commanders is a normal name, like the Giants or the Steelers or whatever.
Exactly.
Right. But unfortunately, that's not the situation we're in. And I think Commanders kind of sounds a little dumb.
I mean, a lot
sounds like arena football.
I've been thinking about that more with logos too.
Yeah.
It's funny how much people in DC were kind of okay with Washington football team. Kind of like, which was so pathetic when they did it. And then it was like,
it's like they adopted
it.
Yeah. It's kind of hipster. And then, especially if you were good, if you were good with football team, that would have been awesome. What would they have changed it to? Was it still the same list that they were considering?
Remember the Monarchs? The Monarchs was one of the finalists.
Monarchs?
Yeah.
Weren't they going to do something with DC? Like
I don't know.
Like the Diet Cokes or something?
The Diet Cokes?
No, they weren't going to do that. But they were going to try to find something that was like the Death Cats, or like they wanted it to be DC.
Right.
I don't know. I was into that too.
Death Cats? Death Cabs for Cutie?
Yeah. I like the Diet Cokes. That's easy branding, easy sponsorship. Diet Coke Arena.
So
it's really like you're really narrowing your options there. Isn't it also like the Pepsi halftime show?
It's Apple now.
Apple, right?
How dare you?
Bleep that. Bleep that out.
the Red Tails, the Red Hogs.
Oh, Red Hogs?
The Pigskins.
The Red Hogs is because the name of the offensive
Football
line is the
club.
nickname. Hogs.
The Majors.
The Washington Majors.
Can you imagine if their thing was
Feral
Unleash
Hogs?
Imagine if they were Unleash the Hogs. Was their
That would be
my
sweet.
God. Unleash the Hog. Okay.
What's Arkansas? They're the
The Razorbacks.
Razorbacks.
But yeah, Hogs.
The Hogs, yeah.
Feral Hogs are a big problem. They're huge.
Yeah.
So when the feral hogs,
They're
the thing is
ravaging our communities.
Well, because when the genetically engineered pigs to get bigger breed with the wild ones, they just generationally they keep getting bigger and bigger. So like they're like kind of we're gonna recreate these like larger historic animals that we kind of like killed out of existence. Like the pigs, when the Commanders seem like a normal name to Calvin 30 years from now, the pigs are gonna be like in that weird. What was that weird Will Smith movie with the giant animals? Or Back to Earth or whatever.
After Earth.
After Earth. It's
With
gonna be
his
like
son.
that with the pigs.
What?
With Jaden Smith.
I didn't see that one.
You didn't?
No.
I didn't either, but I saw the trailers.
It was like a Scientology
It was
movie.
a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I saw a 2-minute video of it and I was like, I'm not watching this. It looks really stupid.
Yeah.
They go back to Earth after 100 years and like everything's just bigger. I was like, okay. Anyway, the last thing here, the Refs Association, which I kind of forgot was a thing, announced basically a statement.
We demand to be taken seriously.
We demand to be taken seriously. They announced basically, so Roger Goodell was asked basically, what's up with the refs and the Chiefs? And Goodell was like, this is ridiculous. And so the Referees Association put out a comment, and I will quote from it. Commissioner Goodell's comments that it is, quote, ridiculous to presume that NFL officials are not doing everything possible to make the right call on every play is spot on, said the executive director of the Ref Association. Our officiating crews do not work the same team more than twice each regular season. It's insulting and preposterous to hear conspiracy theories that somehow 17 officiating crews of 138 officials are colluding to assist one team, end quote. I'm curious what you guys think. My take on that is everything you said is right. I also haven't been led to believe by anything that commenting on how a conspiracy theory is ridiculous will help curb the conspiracy theory. Just don't.
He was asked about it, wasn't he?
No, he put out this. Goodell said something. He was asked. The Ref Association put it out, and I'm like, you know what? Don't
make it sound like it says I killed that man.
Yeah, exactly. Because they're like putting out these facts, and now everyone's just going to be like, so 17 crews, huh?
I'm not sure I knew that. What was it? Every officiating crew only refs a team twice?
Yeah. So, and I don't know. Roger Sherman wrote a good story for the Ringer.
What do the conspiracy theorists have to say about that? That all of them are in on it? All 138?
This is like my version of the flat earth thing is like, are all the airline pilots together on this to not fly certain areas?
Derek Thompson has a great spectrum for conspiracy theories, which is there are really dumb ones and there are tasteful ones.
Sure.
And a good dirty back of the napkin math is how many people would have had to keep this secret to keep this a secret where it's like, fake the moon landing a lot. And then there are other things where like, okay, if it's 2 people, David Stern and the frozen envelope to Patrick Ewing, that's 3 people max. But the ref one, and I do think the reason I want to talk about this is I think there are really more and more people really actually believing that there's something with the refs in the NFL.
So stupid.
It's so stupid. And like, I just want to remind people 2 things. Don't assume malice when you assume incompetence. And I'm like, the idea that the NFL is this all-controlling, powerful entity that, one, couldn't define a catch. Like, they're just winging it. And the refs are part-time employees. If the refs were some arm of the NFL, you'd think they would be full-time. They're not even full-time employees. They don't even do this Monday to Friday. They're just showing up and doing their best on the most complicated goddamn sport.
Also, nothing has ever leaked. There's never been any real evidence of anything going on. If anything, I almost think this has an opportunity. This is an opportunity for the Eagles to gain an advantage because the fucking refs in this game are going to be so scared to throw a flag on Philadelphia in favor of Kansas City that they're actually just going to go the other way. Instinctively.
Shout out to Roger, whose story started with, so baseball is just becoming this like arms race between all the teams, all the good players are going to New York and Los Angeles super teams. And the NBA has now revived like Luka Doncic to the Lakers is just once again, the Lakers are just this dynasty and the Celtics on the East Coast. And the NFL is just propping up Kansas City, who is, checks notes, the 31st largest metropolitan area in the United States of America.
I think my buddy was talking to me about this the other day, and I was like, "Oh, this actually is just the easiest way to crystallize it. If you believe there's a conspiracy for the Chiefs, you should bet a lot of money on the Chiefs. Like,
you should
put
keep
your money where your mouth is.
Yeah.
Right.
Open up the wallet.
Because then you can make a lot of money.
That's true. You should probably just
go ahead and do that.
Saving your kids' college fund.
Which is a great way to get into props.
Yeah.
Because my first prop.
Yeah, what is your first
Chiefs
prop?
I will be betting the Chiefs spread.
Because the game's rigged. I mean,
it's rigged.
Yeah, it's all things rigged.
In conclusion,
it's
rigged.
In conclusion, because
rigged
it is
sport.
rigged, because of the rigged NFL Super Bowl towards the Kansas City Chiefs, I will be betting on Mahomes and the Chiefs. Spread is -1.5, although you can find it at 1 in other places. FanDuel is 1.5. Who knows if it'll move? That's just my first prop. Is that even a prop?
No.
I mean, no, it's by definition, but I do think
line.
you have to start there if you think it's going to win the game.
That will be my first wager.
We're staying true to what we said, which is we're going to think about ways the Eagles could win, and we'll bet on the Michael Jordan of football, but we'll have some fun in between.
Yeah, and like the Michael Jordan of football, I will be betting Patrick Mahomes to also win Super Bowl MVP. He's won 3 Super Bowls. Every single one of those games, he has also won the MVP, and it's plus odds. You get plus 110.
Do you think, like the Michael Jordan football, do you think Mahomes is also betting on stuff, and then we'll keep that rigged too?
Totally, yeah, I'm sure. It's all one big conspiracy. They're probably at some rally right now, the refs and the Chiefs doing some ritual in the woods. I'm sure.
Sacrificing a goat.
Yeah, they're doing something. But those will be my first 2 wagers. Chiefs -1.5, Patrick Mahomes Super Bowl MVP plus 110. Easy, come on. Also, the way the Chiefs roster is designed, like there's obviously no Saquon, and I don't even think it's Travis Kelce at this point.
You think they designed it that way? Or did not have a Saquon?
Of course, yeah, because this is all a conspiracy. They designed it where if they win this game, it has to go to Patrick Mahomes to be MVP. Xavier Worthy would have to have 180 yards and 3 touchdowns to win MVP if the Chiefs win. The team is too spread out.
I have that somewhere in my notes. I have to pull it up. So I want to entertain for one moment. What is a world where some of these MVP, like if you had to bet on a different MVP, because I kind of think like Saquon's almost 3-1, which I think if you're going to bet on the Eagles, you can bet on Saquon, because I think frankly, the people voting on it, again, people vote on it and they like Saquon more, and they will bet on Saquon. They will vote for Saquon. Mm-hmm. But I will say, I'm always obsessed with like my toxic trait is thinking I could identify the random once in a decade Super Bowl MVP. Like the Bucks had like Dexter Jackson,
Malcolm Butler.
Oh,
Not Malcolm Butler.
Who's the Seahawks one? You can't even remember. Malcolm, what was his name?
Malcolm Smith. Malcolm Butler was the guy who intercepted the Seahawks.
But he didn't get MVP.
Right.
Malcolm Smith.
No, I don't think so.
Malcolm Smith on the Seahawks. And I kind of look at this and I'm like,
did Malcolm Butler not win Super Bowl MVP?
No, because they probably already voted on it at that point.
Who won?
Probably
I
Brady.
guess it was Brady.
Probably Brady.
2015.
Yeah, you're right. They already voted.
I don't know.
I still think the Rams-Bengals Super Bowl, Aaron Donald should have been MVP, but everyone had already voted for Cooper Kupp before he sacked Joe Burrow to win the game. Literally, they won the game because of Aaron Donald.
Because of his pressure.
The Bengals, and they didn't. Whatever, man. Got to go downstairs. So I wanted to just throw out Nick Bolton, who literally fumble 6 to Jalen Hurts in the previous, is 300-1.
But he almost proves my point. That like this literally already happened and he still didn't win Super Bowl.
But I think it's more like if Mahomes sucks. Like, what if he throws 2 picks and it's a defensive game?
Yeah, I think Mahomes. Wait, what did Mahomes actually do in that Super Bowl? I'm pretty sure he threw for under 200 yards in that game.
They scored 38 points. I'm saying if this game's like the Rams-Pats one, where it's like 17-13 and we kind of hate it.
I'm surprised Jalen Carter's so low on these lists.
Like Nolan Smith, who is again defensive end for the Eagles, really fast. Chiefs left tackle. Joe Tooney, like, just because you were serviceable against Washington doesn't mean you can do Nolan Smith. What if Nolan Smith has 3 sacks and has a strip sack, fumble, touchdown return? And I'm kind of like, he's 300-1. This is really dumb. We can move on. I guess no one cares about this.
No, I like it. I'm just like, Patrick Mahomes threw for 182 yards in the last Super Bowl against the Eagles, and he won.
QB wins.
Okay, so keep rolling here.
That's fun, though. That's fun. I'll sprinkle maybe.
You reminded me, Craig, of the Sal special for this game.
Yeah. Which is you bet one team to win the first half and then the other team to win the game. He made a lot of money on the Steelers like this because the Steelers are always down 3 points at half, and then they ultimately win in the fourth quarter. I think this is great for you. You bet Eagles to win the first half and you bet Chiefs to win the game. It's 7-1.
I think that's really smart because this also goes with. I will tell you guys this. I think I want to get a memento tattoo because we're gonna watch the game together in Los Angeles again when DK does his raw dog flight.
Yeah,
I want to get a tattoo that says live bet the Chiefs at halftime no matter what.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't care what we see. I don't care who gets hurt. Like, they're going to go down 10 points, and we need to bet the Chiefs when they go down 10.
The last time they were in the Super Bowl, they were down 10 points at half. It was 24-14 at half, and the Chiefs won by 3.
And also the Chiefs-Niners time. The Chiefs-Niners Super Bowl, they were down by 10. And then the other Chiefs-Niners Super Bowl, they were down by... We should just... just do it.
Keep betting. Bet on the Chiefs before the game and during the game.
The Eagles are going to win. They're the better team.
Oh, are they?
I think so, yeah. They're the better team.
I have
Mahomes is the better quarterback.
I have been thinking about that thing we said last week about, well, we'll spend 5 days talking about the Eagles and that, like, we're going to pick the Chiefs. And I'm looking at Radio Row and I'm like, I think literally everyone else is going to do that. And I will say, I've been wondering, is this actually the Bucs-Chiefs Super Bowl where we spend so much time thinking about narratives and like rematch Brady, Mahomes, that Super Bowl? And then we're like, oh yeah, like the Chiefs line sucks. And I kind of feel like we've kind of forgotten that.
You think this is going to be a hindsight as 2020 game where
Mahomes
gets sacked 7 times?
Right now, can you name the left guard that's going to play for the Chiefs in this game? We joked about him last week.
Caliendo.
Mike Caliendo.
Frank Caliendo's son, right?
I think that we're going to remember, like, I don't know, the third play of the game, Jalen Carter is going to line up over Mike Caliendo.
Just destroy him.
And we're going to be like, what the fuck were we doing?
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what I mean?
I'm already overthinking it. I'm doing exactly what you said we were going to do, and I'm ready to take the Eagles. I think now.
I think the Zag has said it, and everybody's like the Eagles is the cool pick this year for sure.
You think the Eagles 100%. Are the cool pick?
Yes, I think everybody's on. The Eagles have a better roster. The line disparity, they should probably be favored. I think everybody's on that. Mahomes is the only player on the team that's better than anyone on the Eagles. That's all there, and then he's going to win. We can't let this happen. We can't be stupid enough to bet against him in the Super Bowl. We can't. Because how dumb are you going to feel if the Chiefs win
that's the
versus
thing.
The Eagles?
I totally agree. If we bet on the Chiefs to win and then the Eagles destroy them because they're better, and
Jalen Carter, right.
Yeah, but if Jalen Carter destroys Frank Caliendo, Frank's
son,
Frank Jr.
We should ask him to do impressions.
Yeah, we'll be like,
see him this week.
Oh yeah,
and he's like, "What are you talking about?" We're like, "What are you talking about?"
No, he's
I'm sure he's heard that.
He knows. Yeah. He knows.
Okay.
He's probably like, oh God. These fucking idiots.
No, you're right. If we bet against Mahomes, I'll like never do it again. I'll never do it.
This is the 80th time someone's asked me that. And I'm like, well, do it.
This is the time where he finally like just breaks and yells at us.
All right, so we'll bet on the Chiefs, and we'll bet on the Chiefs again when they go down.
So do you like the Sal special, Eagles first half, Chiefs to win?
I can't imagine not doing that, to be honest. It's like, if you're going to bet the Chiefs, at least also bet the Chiefs to be losing and then come back. As Carlos said to me earlier this week, I've seen this movie before, and also just like root for the protagonists. And all the Chiefs are clearly the main character of this story.
They're not the protagonists.
They're not who people are rooting. No, but like they are the protagonists of this era.
They're the anti-hero.
There you go.
Well, there you go. They're the anti-heroes are in.
All
Tony
ties
Soprano.
in Taylor Swift song. You know what I mean? It all comes together.
Denied, not at all.
No.
Oh, you want to? I have a Swift prop bet in here.
Hit me.
Okay. Well, we have halftime stuff later. We could do halftime now.
Let halftime at the end is fun.
Halftime at the end.
Well, it's fun to do business in the front, party in the back.
Business in the like a mullet. We're a mullet show. So, speaking of which, keeping the light on here. It is Super Bowl 59, and it's all happening on FanDuel. And FanDuel has basically a bunch of touchdown bets. There's like a lot of bets on FanDuel, but the one we're going to talk about right now is touchdowns. And I have a bunch of touchdown stuff with you, starting with, of all the props, the one where I looked at for the longest and was like, what am I missing here? Was just, will Jalen Hurts score a touchdown at basically even odds? And I'm like, doesn't he have 18 touchdowns in 18 games?
You're basically, yeah. Even at this point, 2 touchdowns, which is plus 550, 5.5 to 1. It's like, he had 3 last week. He had 3 when they played in the Super Bowl in 2023. I'm willing to throw money on 1, 2, and 3.
Hurts. I kind of want to do all of this.
Yeah.
Hurts to score is like basically even money. Hurts to score twice, he said 5-1. Hurts to score 3-1 was 37-1 earlier in the week.
Right now, it's 29-1 for Hurts to score 3 touchdowns.
There's just so many opportunities for him to score touchdowns.
He literally just did it last week, and he did it against the Chiefs in 2023.
And the other one, Hurts and Saquon to score a touchdown is 2-1.
I love that one. It's a little less now, but yes.
I know, but
yeah, I think that's
doesn't
great.
It just feel like it's going to happen like immediately?
There's a great one, Saquon or Hurts to score 2+ touchdowns. So only one of them has to score 2. It's plus 170.
I like that.
Only one of them has to have 2 touchdowns. One of them will have 2 touchdowns. And no matter who does it, it's plus 170.
Yeah. One of them will have 2 touchdowns.
I'm so confident in this that I almost want to parlay like Will Shipley and Jahan Dotson, just because I'm like, how could they possibly not? Like, this is a Costanza. Is actually Jalen Hurts and Saquon don't score.
Blowout. They're not. Those guys aren't going to play.
I don't know.
We should talk about the Costanza. We actually have, that's not in our.
I think this is the Costanza because I can't fathom how this doesn't work. I don't know how you don't make money betting every iteration of Jalen Hurts to score 1, Hurts to score 2, Hurts to score 3, Saquon to score 1, 2, 3, and then you're like Hurts and Saquon to score like, and you just, and I'm like, I can't fathom losing money on that, which is kind of what makes me think you'll lose money on it.
That's fair. Maybe that is the Costanza. Then.
Right? Doesn't that just
fade
what am I
Saquon
missing?
and Hurts? Yeah. All right, that's where we've landed. We hated all those bets we just gave out. Don't do those.
No, they don't make sense. Okay, opt in and bet on a player to score on an anytime touchdown. If they score the first touchdown of the game, they win their anytime touchdown bet and split $2.5 million in bonus bets with everyone else who used their token on that player. Say you use your token on Saquon Barkley. If Saquon scores the first touchdown of the game and 10,000 people use their token on Saquon, each customer gets $2.5 million divided by the 10,000 people who bet on Saquon, so that would be $250 in bonus bets for you if Saquon scores. If the player scores the last touchdown of the game, the customer wins their anytime touchdown bet and splits $2.5 million in bonus bets with everyone else who used their token on that player. Be sure to check out FanDuel's Super Bowl touchdown jackpot and all of the Ringer specials. Just look for it in the FanDuel Sportsbook app.
Gotta say, I love being in Louisiana, placing some bets on FanDuel.
Heck yeah.
On the app.
I like being in Louisiana for a lot of reasons.
I certainly do. I don't know what you mean by that, actually.
Wait a minute.
It's vague. I don't know.
I was just kind of going with, I was just yes-anding him there.
All right, other bets. These are just bets I think will win.
Yeah, let's get slowly more debaucherous with these bets.
We talked about touchdowns. I just think Xavier Worthy scores a touchdown in this game.
Okay, what are the odds?
It's plus 150. So it's 1.5. And I hate.
He's so skinny though. The Eagles D. You know?
Have you ever seen him? He's really fast.
Yeah. Oh, true.
He can run really fast.
I have a skinny guy parlay, which is Xavier Worthy and Devontae Smith.
It's a bundle, skinny bundle.
The skinny under 300 pounds, and so
that's one Luka.
Yeah, one. Would you rather the Steelers get Devontae Smith and Xavier Worthy, or the Warriors get Luka? Well,
dude,
that's
not even fucking close.
Yeah,
are you kidding me?
That doesn't really make sense.
I mean, the Steelers would just go 9-8 with Devontae Smith and Xavier Worthy.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I didn't really think that one through.
Even if they would have won the Super Bowl, I would have still taken Luka to the Warriors.
What if I also give you a first-round pick in 2029?
I also want to say, please, if you're a superstar out there in the NBA, just go to the Warriors. We'll take anyone. Please. I don't care who you are. Just go to the Warriors.
You just sound desperate.
All right.
Yeah.
Come on. I know they're calling you.
The other one with the Chiefs one, just the Mahomes over 5.5 rush attempts. Sal talks about this one all the time too. Kneel downs count as rushes, so it's over 5.5. Mahomes has hit this almost every playoff game in the last 3 years. Mahomes has hit the 6 rushes, and I'm like, he just runs in the playoffs.
I know these things are getting hard now because this is the fifth Mahomes Super Bowl, right?
Yes.
Yep.
That's so funny. That's a lot.
He's won 3, lost 1. Right. This is his 5th.
5 is. That's a lot of Super Bowl.
We have so much Mahomes data in the Super Bowl alone that it is hard. Like the rushing thing is no longer a secret. So it's hard. These lines are getting higher and higher and tougher and tougher. But yeah, the whole over on Mahomes rushing yards, over on Mahomes rushing attempts. It always hits. It always hits.
I kind of want to do that and Eagles over 2.5 sacks.
Oh, I like that one. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Mahomes got sacked more this year than ever, right?
Yeah. I mean, he got hit as 11 times in a game, as many twice in his first 5 years, and then 2 weeks in a row this season.
Yeah, I like that as well. Mahomes was sacked 0 times last time they played, but the offensive line was much better.
Yeah. The other one, DK, you sent me this one, was both teams convert on 4th down.
I just like this one because it's in the DNA for both teams to go for it on 4th down.
Yeah. I have that as well.
Both teams also the defenses are really good and kind of make you fight for every inch on the field. You know what I mean? And so
unlike the other 30 teams who kind of just give it up, for being honest.
Well, compared to these teams, yeah. I think so. Yeah, because I think, obviously the defenses, both of the strategy, I think, right throughout the rest of the season has been, we're going to, play deep, play like a shell.
Put a lid on you.
Yeah, and then make you just complete passes down the field. Obviously, the Chiefs have been really good at that. The Eagles are great at that because they have the tush push. But I just think I could see both of these teams going for it, a 4th down a couple
more
times.
4th downs when you limit big plays.
And they're both very good on 4th down.
They are. They're both top 4 in the league in 4th down conversions. They've each converted on over 70%. Yeah, I did my research.
Nice job.
I
just thought it sounded good.
Yeah.
Thanks for doing the research.
That's all. It's all vibes. It's slight juice. You got to pay a little bit.
Yeah.
The yes is minus 120 for both teams to successfily convert a 4th down.
But also the way we talk about these bets, we were like, oh yeah, and I'm like, can I be honest? As I've probably looked at 1,000 prop bets, maybe more. My lizard brain is still minus bad, plus good.
Oh, 100%.
And I see how they just get you every time where the plus bets are usually bad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you probably shouldn't make it. But I'm like, plus 100, that's, whoa.
I know, plus 100 is funny. There's another one that's kind of dovetails off of the last one where will either team convert a 4th down attempt in their own territory? I also like yes.
Oh, interesting.
That is becoming more and more common, especially in the second half. Like teams are more desperate. Sometimes you're also just on like the 47 and it's 4th and 1 and you tush push.
I think there's been more 4th down I don't remember this, but I'm eyeballing it. There's probably been more 4th down attempts in your own territory this season than I bet like the last 4 years combined.
Yeah, totally.
It's not taboo anymore to do that.
Probably like,
right?
I honestly, there's probably been more of those. Not if you take out end of game situations where you have to go. I bet there's been more in these playoffs than like the whole 20th century.
Right. And it's like odds are this game's going to be close anyway. I will bet that in the second half there will be a 4th down in somebody's own territory and they go for it. It's also pretty much even odds.
You also, Craig, you sent me one that said both teams to make a 33+ yard field goal.
This one's 33 plus. You say that?
Oh, yeah.
Not
that would be funny
exactly.
if it was exactly 33.
Both teams to make it exactly 33.
33.
That'd be like
16,000 to 1.
I did no research on this. I saw this and I was like, that feels really easy.
Yeah.
You know? And then you know what's funny is I looked up the last Super Bowl between the two of them. They did not do this. One kicker, Butker, had like a 27-yard field goal and the other one had
what? Oh, the Eagles-Chiefs one. Because I was going to say, the Niners one, they hit the longest field goal ever in a Super Bowl, and then a quarter later, the Moody hit the one.
But yeah, I was literally like, this has to happen every single Super Bowl. And then I look, and literally it was Harrison Butker hit a 27-yarder only, and Jake Elliott hit a 35. So only one of the guys.
Speaking of Butker, hold on.
But I'm just like, does that not sound like incredibly doable?
I actually, I'm not going to lie. I would rather this. I want to bet there's will Harrison Butker miss a field goal? Yes, it's 3-1.
You like that?
I do. I also want to root against Harrison Butker. But I think the other thing...
Why?
Let's dive into
I like to kick people while they're dead. No, I think here's the weird thing about Harrison Butker that we haven't talked about this. I don't know if people know this. When Harrison Butker gives any kick, a field goal or an extra point, he on his follow through, he drops to one knee. Mm-hmm. He drops to his knee because he injured his MCL, I think it was, or his knee, and so he can't stand and plant, so he has to fall. But I think because the camera pans up. People don't really know that, but I think if we had a wider shot and every time he kicked, he fell, we'd get the ick and be like, oh my God, is this like can the Chiefs win with the kicker who falls?
It's not a very masculine thing to do.
It's a huge ick.
Yeah.
Every time he kicks, he just drops.
Guy can't even stand when he kicks.
I know.
Yeah.
Just saying.
That's really good. Good analysis. I'm really
Isn't it weird?
Really convinced. Yeah.
You're like, oh, why? Well, his knee hurts. And I'm like,
but doesn't he make most of his kicks?
I know.
Yeah, but it would look weird.
Sure. But he also makes them.
So we'll have to bet on him making a 34-yarder. Thumbs up, we hit on that. And then he also misses like a 50-yarder.
I'm just saying, once you start noticing he falls, you can't unnotice it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a big ick.
Other ones here.
What else? DK.
All right.
I got a bunch of fun ones that probably won't work, but they're just fun to talk about. What do you think?
The one you sent me that I was in love with was jersey number of the first person.
Oh, these are the best because this is something you can like root for.
Yep.
And kind of watch very carefully. Jersey number of the first TD score. There's also one for jersey number of the last TD score.
Yeah, this is great. This is
TD out loud.
TD touchdown scorer.
I'm not judging. I just realized I don't think I've ever done that actually.
I feel like I have. I feel like I've said that every once in a while. TD scorer.
DK kind of has a different philosophy about pronouncing acronyms.
He's Ron Burgundy. He reads whatever's on the page.
Yeah.
It's true. It does say TD scorer there, so I read it.
So this is basically roulette. It's like you're taking
the
18 to 35 or 1 to 17.
15 and a half is the number here for over under. The guys that are under Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, AJ Brown on the Eagles. You got Xavier Worthy, Hollywood Brown, DeAndre Hopkins, Pacheco, and Mahomes for the under. The over are important ones.
Pacheco's 10, right?
The overs are Barkley, Goddard, Kareem Hunt, and Travis Kelce.
Wow.
Well, the under has to have the juice.
It's hard to take
Barkley.
Yeah.
The under has to have the juice, right?
Saquon and Kelce outside 15, though, is tough.
Wow. I think I like that. I like the under.
I like the under because Hurts.
Yeah, you get Hurts and like
Hurts
5
and
random
Smith
players.
and AJ Brown.
Yeah.
But then you just worried about Saquon Barkley.
And you get Worthy and Hollywood and Hopkins. It's basically like
Saquon Barkley just
bouncing
as
long
from
as
the
it's
shadows.
not Saquon, you're fine.
Yeah, but when you rephrase it as you're betting against Saquon to score the first time, no, that's pretty good though. I would
like
do the
that.
under 15.
Yeah, I don't like that very much when you say it that way.
Yeah, Saquon won't.
Also, Kelsey's on there.
Yeah.
No, Kelsey starts playing hard these games.
We haven't talked about this. It's probably Travis Kelce's last game, right? He says it's not. I think he's wrong. He's lying. If they win this game, you can't come back.
What if they lose?
If they lose, I think he comes back. Or maybe. But like if he wins, you have to retire and start your next career off the three-peat. You can't you have to, right? He has to retire if they win.
We said that about Brady after they won.
Yeah. Well, that's different. He has problems.
I
think he was trying to end a relationship. I think Kelsey's trying to accelerate one.
True.
On the Kelsey note.
But yes, I agree with you. It's like there is no more perfect time to retire.
Yeah, it's hard to know when, and I don't think any player has ever had a better now than if Kelsey wins this game. It's like he should probably retire right now.
Speaking of that, Travis Kelsey. So the FanDuel has next gen stats sponsored.
I saw this. I can't believe the speeds.
Basically,
with the
the top speed of these players. Travis Kelsey's top speed over under in this game is 15.5 miles per hour.
That's flat.
I looked on just next gen stats page. He wasn't listed because he was too slow on all of them. Because they have the top 20 guys or whatever in a game.
How fast do you think you could get to?
You can get over 15.
No.
I don't know.
Yes. It's like a 40-yard dash where it's the margins are on the edge where it's when someone runs 23 miles an hour, that doesn't mean you can't run 15. It's just it's a standard. There's a standard of deviation between 23 miles an hour and 21.
Most people can run 16, but nobody could run 19.
I think we could get to 14 right here on Radio Row. I think we do 14 right now.
I think I could probably get to 15.
But 20 is
I have no reference. I have I can't think of how fast that is.
It's kind of like when DK talks about defensive ends and it's he's got 34-inch arms. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? I'm not a tailor.
Really long. I'm taking the under on that because he runs like Tars from Interstellar.
I think unders are smart.
Well, it's also he's not like a yak dude. It's not like he's going to get a lot of opportunities to have a 40-yard sprint.
But he had that catch was it the Bills or the Texans game where he got over the middle and ran?
It was the Texans game.
I remember thinking, we'll never see this again.
Yeah.
That was the last one.
And he got caught.
The other one was also Xavier Worthy's over-under is 18.5 miles an hour.
Oh, take the over on that.
I think he will hit that. I have a lot of Xavier Worthy.
Do you think he could get that even before? If they run a reverse with him, could he get to 18 before he even
because they do
gets close to a defender?
They do that play where they're just they set up a 40-yard dash track for him and they just let him run up up a lane.
So do you think he can hit 18 turning?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
Turning. Oh, yeah, I see. I think, yeah.
On a reverse, he's kind of making that half circle.
Slingshot.
Again.
Yeah.
It's actually faster.
Shake and bake.
Yeah.
Shake and bake. Yeah, and then Saquon's over under 19.5, which is basically, do you think Saquon breaks one long run? Because he'll hit 19.
I like the over on both of those.
Doesn't that mean we should bet the under because we don't have any gauge for these numbers and they know we're going to take the over? How could we possibly intrinsically we should bet the unders? We don't know anything about these numbers.
I just want to see someone run fast. So that's why I'm rooting for the overs.
My brother just sent me a tweet that says a certain gambling site, not FanDuel, has shut down betting odds for Kevin Durant going to the Warriors.
Okay.
Just saying.
Going to the Warriors?
Yeah.
How could he go back?
Oh, what do you mean?
He already hates that. Don't him and Draymond hate each other?
Yeah, but look.
Was this in response to what you were just saying?
Maybe.
Wow.
This episode hasn't even posted yet. But just saying.
The universe.
Betting sites are starting to take down Durant to the Warriors.
Dude, that's all right.
Can you imagine?
I actually respect it. You know why? After everyone agrees, your ring kind of has an asterisk, and he's like, you know what? I'll do it again.
I'm gonna go get more.
I'm gonna go back.
I'll fucking do it again.
He's like, you know what? The Nets and the Suns sucked. I'm going back.
Dude, he's lost. He's like, we have to go back.
You know what's better? Winning.
Yeah. You know what? I'm 36. How about I just go play with Steph?
I will say, the only thing I'll say to Durant's defense is it is funny that we're like, you should care about rings and selflessness. And then he did it. And everyone's like, yeah, but you're a bitch. We didn't mean it for you. I don't know. Well, he's biased. What do you think? You're a perfect person. What do you actually? Well, no, you're not.
I
Never
don't
mind.
know.
Warriors fan and then Supersonics robbery of Durant.
Yeah, Durant was drafted by the Sonics.
I know. But what do you think of the people judging a player who went and got rings and people
I don't have any problem with that. No. I mean, that's almost every championship team has at least two guys.
Look,
two really good
guys.
Go
get rings. These front offices clearly don't give a shit about players half the time. The Mavericks just traded Luka Doncic.
Are we gonna talk about
go wherever your best chances to win are?
All the Yankees World Series titles ever? Or
well, I think the difference was that the Warriors had the best record. I forget what year at this point because I'm freaked out.
It was the 2015-2016 season. They went 73-9.
They had the most wins in the regular season ever, and then Durant's team almost beat them. Didn't, and then he went and joined the team that he almost beat. Literally, they were up 3-1 in the conference finals.
Yeah.
Blew the 3-1 lead, then he joined the team.
But the Warriors lost the finals that year. Had they won, I don't think anything would have happened.
I mean, those optics are a little not the best.
And I just love that he's going back.
Ultimately, I still don't
but LeBron
care.
builds a super team with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh in Miami. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cooler, though, because they were just, I mean, that's kind of cooler.
I mean, in those specific circumstances, I get why he got hate for it, but I also don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The LeBron one was vindicated by everybody doing exactly what he did
fine.
for the next 15 years. It just
Anyway, you heard it here first. Durant to the Warriors.
I just love his like we're going back.
Wait, so we were just talking about speeds?
Top speeds,
which actually coincides with longest reception.
15.5 miles an hour.
I think we should find a stretch. Maybe tomorrow we can get one of us running out here.
Maybe
where
I'm
we're
wrong,
sitting, there actually is like a long corridor that we can reach top speeds.
Because like if you go 20 miles an hour on a bike, that feels pretty fast.
Well, 20 miles an hour is a speed limit in school zones.
I'm thinking about running like 10 miles an hour on a
Like
treadmill.
I don't think 10 is
I'm much slower than I'm.
Think of it this way.
You ever done 10 miles an hour on a treadmill?
Think of it this way.
You're cooking.
Think of it this way. What is the
you feel out of control at 11
when an
lot of noise.
NFL receivers who are really good run a 4.5 40-yard dash.
Yeah.
Let's just scale that for a second at 20 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Double 4.5. Can you run a 9-second 40-yard dash?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course you can. You see what I'm saying? Like you like 10 miles. It would not be hard for you to run a 9-second 40-yard dash. You could probably jog that thing.
Yeah.
So like, can you run 10 miles an hour? Literally, you could do it right now.
10 miles an hour, yes. 15.5? 16?
That's where I feel less confident. But I think the answer is yes, you could.
I'm genuinely
within the week.
I actually figured it out. Like I think if you just the only way I can kind of put it into context in my head is to imagine a treadmill. Imagine having a treadmill at 16 miles an hour.
That's
I just don't like running on treadmills because I just feel like if I lose attention for 1 second, I'm going to fly. Like I don't like the idea that if I take one step off, I have to run. I have to run on flat ground.
Yeah, but you feel that way when it's at like probably 8 miles an hour.
Yeah,
imagine double.
That's true.
I don't know. I
Googled how fast do people run. Google Gemini says 28. I don't think that's right.
What?
No.
Serious?
It says human. Maybe one human did that. I don't think. Oh, someone that literally asked, is 12 miles an hour fast for human? Running 12 considered quite fast for the average person.
It's funny because DK's on Reddit and it says 15 miles an hour isn't fast by any stretch.
Oh, wow.
This is why the internet's a hellscape. You can't go anywhere.
I Googled how fast is 15 miles per hour running.
The internet was so much better like a long time ago.
Didn't really get a good answer.
Like, remember how like when you could Google stuff and get the answer like really quickly? Anyway.
I really think we should test this out.
Yeah, we can get a radar. Well, no, the problem with the radar
guns, you
like,
could run 15.5 miles an hour.
I know I could run 11. I don't know, but 15, I want to double check.
You're walking this back a little bit. 10 minutes ago, you were like, 15 is a walk in the park.
Well, you didn't say I'd have to do it here.
Okay, you can do it anywhere you want.
We have a video. Here's what 15 miles per hour looks like running on a treadmill. Let's see here. I'm going to skip it forward.
Yeah, go all the way to the end.
Oh,
now there's horses running.
No, you boomer.
This can't be 15.
Watching TikToks in a browser.
What the hell?
No, I know.
DK's.
What a waste.
No, I know. You know how I know you're 40?
DK's he's on TikTok.com.
TikTok.com. TikTok.com.
Oh my God.
This is 5 to 13. This doesn't go up to 15.
TikTok.com.
Well, I want to see what 13 looks like then.
Dude, we could
jogging.
do 15.
We could do 15.
Jogging.
15's easily
We should slam the over.
You know what?
Kelsey.
There's a treadmill in our hotel.
You know
Maybe
what?
we do it tomorrow morning.
Paid off.
Let's do it. If the worst case is one of us gets hurt,
I'll do 15 on the
funny.
treadmill in the hotel tomorrow.
Let's be real. If one of us gets hurt doing it, that would be better for content.
Okay, now that looks quite fast.
No,
I could do that. I could do that.
That's fine.
This is really good radio.
I think I could. I'm gonna say it. I could do 30. I can go over 13. No problem.
I can do that.
We have a treadmill. Let's do this tomorrow morning.
We'll do it in the morning.
I brought running shoes.
We'll do it in the morning. I'm gonna like pull a hamstring doing it.
That's great.
I feel like one of us is gonna get hurt severely.
This is great.
The other bets. The other one. I just love this one. This only comes out for Super Bowl props, so we don't talk about this the other 51 weeks a year. Will anyone record an octopus? Which is when you catch a touchdown and get the 2-point conversion.
They keep trying to make an octopus a
10
thing.
to 1. They keep making the octopus a thing. I'm like, I kind of wish the octopus was a thing. It's a good name.
No, it's not.
You don't like. You want to call
it's a terrible name.
You want to call Blue Sky Posts Skeets, but you don't like
because it's funny.
Octopus for 8 points.
Correct. Yes.
Is he right or am I wrong?
It should be Skies.
Skeets is funnier.
Yeah,
but you'll never be taken seriously if it's like.
So I rest my case.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. It's probably funny for like the first 5 times you say it, and then it's just you're saying skeet all the time.
That's fine. Yeah. The novelty wears off a little.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Who do you guys think is going to have the longest catch in this game? Because it's literally been a different player on the Chiefs for the last 5 games and a different player on the Eagles for the last 3 games. It is literally the worst bet you could make, and yet I'm so intrigued. Do you have any thoughts?
I think this is like streaming tight ends, where it's just throw a dart. literally like close your eyes and pick.
Longest reception.
On either team?
Yes, and again, the last 5 Chiefs games, it's been a different player. It's been Kelsey, Juju, Justin Watson, Perine, and Worthy.
Perine.
And then the Eagles,
I think it's Worthy or Marquise Brown.
Is Worthy the favorite?
AJ Brown is the favorite, plus 3-1. Worthy's second, 6-1.
I think AJ Brown's AJ Brown's a good bet because they really load up to stop Saquon.
I'd rather just have Marquise Brown at 8-1.
Dude, you know which one I like is Justin Watson, 35-1. That dude always catches
he's always just like
this 50-yard pass.
Yeah, he comes in for like one thing and one thing only.
The problem is now the Chiefs have one too many decent receivers where he's not on the field as much as he used to.
Right.
Because now it's like you have Hollywood and DeAndre and Juju and Xavier.
Plays, yeah.
DeAndre, I mean, his over-under for catches is 1.5 in this game. He's barely playing.
So what?
12.5 yards for
So if we had to bet this, what do we like? Is it AJ Brown?
I think it's
Worthy 6-1.
It's
like
probably
Yeah. Although he's not actually that great. He's just like if he gets a run after the catch.
All my Worthy stuff, I like him for touchdowns. I mean, I have a bunch. Honestly, I have a bunch of Worthy stuff I like. I think Worthy has a huge impact in this game, but it might be rushing. I would rather do Marquise Brown because I have Worthy for rushing stuff. But Marquise Brown, I'm like, if he has 2 weeks to learn where the sidelines are, you know,
right? Because they're different in every game.
You know, they've been playing football for a long time.
Well, he was even hurt all year.
Even prior to that.
Marquise Brown is funny because he had an upper body injury. So Marquise Brown looks way faster than people who usually are when they come back from an injury. But he clearly mentally was not playing football for a long time because he just has no sense of the white grass and the green grass.
Because he couldn't catch passes, so he wasn't running routes on the sideline.
Yeah.
He was just running on. He was probably just running 16 miles an hour on the treadmill for 4 months.
Yeah.
Which we'll be doing tomorrow morning. Okay, so
who are you taking?
I'd probably sprinkle a couple. To be honest, you get nervous. The Eagles don't let up any long plays, but
Goddard run after the catch?
No.
I don't think you bet this one because you know why?
Oh, it's terrible. It's the worst
I don't think this one's fun. I don't get any
Want to
joy
know
from
another
this.
terrible one to bet?
Yeah.
Total players to throw a touchdown in the game.
Oh, this is the worst fucking
over
bet
2.5.
year.
It's obviously the first 2 are the quarterbacks and then some random third one.
Right.
I looked this up.
Will there be a fake
I looked this
punt?
up. I'm pretty sure neither the Chiefs nor the Eagles have done a trick play touchdown pass.
But I would
this year, which means they're due. Right?
I wish this was take a snap because if you could bet on like, will a non-quarterback take a snap? And like, I think a few weeks ago, the Chiefs did this thing where Kelsey like lined up at quarterback, but he's going to pitch it or something. So I think Kelsey's not going to throw the ball.
Yeah, but if he pitches it forward, that's a pass.
But if you pitch it backwards, it's not a pass.
Yeah.
So like, I think that's the thing where it's like you could literally get Kelsey snapping it as a quarterback and not hit this bet on over 2.5 people to throw a pass.
It's a miserable bet because you're upset the whole game.
I know.
Every play you're just like praying for. You're praying for a trick play for 4 hours.
So here's one that's not fun and won't.
Also,
win.
is this where we should caveat? You should probably. I mean, if you want to win money, I don't think you should listen to us.
Right. I think that's
don't listen to us.
That's
implied. Win money. This is like.
Can I give one that will win money?
Sure.
Are you guys cool with that?
It's not really the vibe of the show.
Right. We'll cut it if we don't like it, but this one will win money. First player to get to 10+ rushing yards.
Oh,
here are the in order of best odds to worst odds, or I guess worst odds to best odds. Saquon is the favorite. Then it's Kareem Hunt. Then Jalen Hurts, Pacheco, Mahomes, Worthy. Patrick Mahomes is 9-1 to be the first player to get to 10 rushing yards.
Like that one.
That is one scramble on the first possession of the game.
Yeah.
Basically, because to me, it's still possible for the Eagles to get the ball. A couple Saquon runs don't go anywhere. They punt. Same thing with it's going to take Pacheco and Kareem Hunt 4 carries to get to 10 yards.
Yeah.
Mahomes, it would take literally one scramble to get to 10 yards. 9-1.
I have this bet. This is my favorite bet in the whole game. And it's not Mahomes. I want Xavier Worthy 25-1 to the first player to get to 10 rushing yards. Because the Chiefs
the end
always
arounds,
have a scripted play especially when Andy Reid has time. Like the first touchdown of the season was Xavier Worthy.
Yeah,
they just do some weird thing where they get him a rushing touch and they get him like this alley and they try to get him. And I love the idea that on the first drive, what they love to do is they love to get Xavier Worthy the ball on the first drive on some motion, an orbit motion, be like, you have to pay attention and respect this motion the whole game, and we're going to build iterations off it. So all you need is on the first 4 or 5 plays, Xavier Worthy just needs to get 1 10-yard rush before like Kareem Hunt or Pacheco get like 10 rushing yards. And I'm like, all you need is the Chiefs to win the coin toss, and Worthy's like 25-1. I feel really confident he's going to get a scripted play.
Bad.
I might sprinkle a little bit on both.
Yeah. I have one that's related to your Mahomes bet there.
Okay.
So remember how early on we were talking about Jalen Hurts 2+ rushing touchdowns? We liked it.
Yeah.
Add in Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes combine for 100 yards rushing and 2 rushing touchdowns. So basically you just need one of these guys to kind of go off as a rusher. I think Hurts is obviously going to be the one, but Mahomes has been running more. But that's 9-1.
So they just need to combine for 100.
Right. And 2 rushing touchdowns. With how much Mahomes ran last week, I kind of liked it.
But we could be honest. That's the one that if you open the app, it's the first one, which don't bet that.
Because you need Hurts to run for 60 and Mahomes to run for 40.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, it probably will happen.
Or 70-30.
I didn't even think of that.
What about 80-20?
No, that's possible too?
Hold on, let me check. Yeah.
So what about 110, -10?
Actually, can I tell you what's going to happen right now?
Yeah.
Here's the one problem with this bet. You're going to hit it. You're going to celebrate. And then one of the teams to win is going to take 3 kneel downs, and you're going to go back under to like 97.
Actually, yes, I'm setting you up for a massive
disappointment. Is this one of those things where like sack yards count against the rushing totals?
I don't think so.
But kneel downs do, which is a weird thing now that you think about it.
Stupid.
Like, why does taking a sack not count against rushing yards, but kneeling does? What's with that?
God, that's a good point, Craig, though. The kneel downs.
Imagine how many yards
Talk about a depressing way to lose that bet.
How many yards would you need to feel safe?
Talk about your all-time backfires.
Talk about your all-time backfires.
I like that one though. It's fun. Total players. The other one, but I love the Worthy stuff. Speaking of which, though, so again, gotta pay the bills here.
Worthy's just gonna like hurt his hamstring on the first play.
Stop! Don't you dare!
Don't
you dare!
Hold on. Wait till after this.
DK, we gotta keep the lights on.
Wait till after this read.
Keep the lights on, DK. Super Bowl 59 is your chance to hit the jackpot on FanDuel, America's #1 sports book, because with FanDuel's $5 million touchdown jackpot, you can win a share of $5 million in bonus bets.
$5 million in bonus bets? Wow.
$5 million in bonus bets.
What do I have to do?
All you have to do is place an anytime touchdown score bet before the game kicks off. And if your player scores the first or last touchdown, you'll win your bet, plus a share of bonus bets. On that note, last touchdown of the season. I love, and I'm probably really stupid. I'm definitely really stupid, but Xavier Worthy scored the first touchdown of the season. Mm-hmm. I love the idea that like he's going to score the last touchdown of the season.
Very poetic.
It's like 10-1.
Yeah.
And I really do think he has a big role in this game, because they need him for a variety of reasons. They need the speed, but he's the guy that when they have time, whether it's the whole offseason, off the bye, like he's the guy they need to read schemes to get the ball. And I just think around the red zone again, like they won the first Super Bowl on that corn dog play with the motion and everything. I'm like, Andy Reid just loves getting fast guys the ball when he has time to think about it. So Xavier Worthy 2 touchdowns is 10-1. Worthy with the first half touchdown is 3-1. Worthy longest reception over 20. He smashed that. Worthy last touchdown in the game is 10-1. I like all the Xavier Worthy stuff.
So you're just going to spam kind of every Xavier Worthy bet, hope to hit a couple.
So you should probably bet on Marquise Brown, because I don't really have a great track record.
Question for you. With this FanDuel thing, does it matter if I'm kind of watching my favorite team or rooting against my rival?
I'm so glad you asked. It doesn't matter if you're watching your favorite team or rooting against your rivals. FanDuel's giving everyone something to cheer for during Super Bowl 59. So don't miss your chance to score in the biggest game of the year with FanDuel's $5 million touchdown jackpot. Just visit FanDuel.com/RingerFantasy to get in on the action. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NFL. Must be 21 plus and present in select states, or 18 plus and present in DC. Opt-in required. Each $2.5 million prize pool to be split equally among all eligible participants who made the correct picks. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expire 21 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Do you guys want my take on Roman numerals now or on another time?
Please hit me now.
So I did the FanDuel. I did
the
FanDuel read, and they actually write Super Bowl 59, which I like because they're just writing for me. But in all this official stuff, we have everywhere on Radio Row, Super Bowl 59, all these Roman numerals in front of us. Mm-hmm. I thought they were going to sunset the Roman numerals at Super Bowl 50, and they didn't.
You know why?
Can you stop making me do math in Latin?
Can you read Roman numerals? I just never tried.
I have to think like if you ever one of these banners.
Yeah, because the L is 50 and then the IX is 9.
X is 50 -1. And I'm like, no one even speaks Latin anymore. Super Bowl 38 is down there, and it's like XVLL11, and I'm like,
it kind of looks badass though.
Here it does. Dude. Here's why they're doing it, Heifetz. Here's why they didn't sunset it after 50, because they don't want to deal with 69 being written out. After 69, they will sunset it.
What is 69?
They can't have 69 plastered all over Radio Row.
Super Bowl licks.
Dude, this is Super Bowl licks.
We're literally on Super Bowl licks.
The last
right
licks,
now.
if you will.
So there's that.
I'm just saying. I
Super Bowl
think
licks.
Poking holes in your theory.
The 69 piece.
They literally did 50 because they didn't want Super Bowl L. You're actually right. They changed it to 50 for L. So what is 69 in Roman numerals? 69 in Roman numerals.
Oh, okay.
Do you think we'll still be doing the show in the Roman numerals in 10 years? Oh, it's LXIX. And I'm like, you got to do that math.
No, that's
so L is 50
ridiculous.
plus 10 minus 1 minus X. And I'm like, no, that's not even right. How do you get to, it's L.
It's 50 plus
10
plus 9. Yeah.
But how?
50 is L is 50, the X is 10. Now you're at 60. And then IX is 9. 69.
Carlos can put a picture
IX
of
is
the Roman numerals in here.
But it's really 50 plus 10.
But you read left
plus
to right.
parentheses that are invisible, 1 minus 9.
Helps,
that's what you're doing.
Yeah, because XI, I guess, would mean 11, but if there's another X after it, that means it's 9.
Why are you making me do math in Latin? Like, this is insane. I just want, we have
because
a whole
we
different
can't
set
have
of numbers.
69 written out.
We have a whole, that's in 10 years. We have
That
a
would be
whole different
devastating.
set of numbers.
Roman numerals are pretty dumb.
We have our numbers.
I'm going to zag. They're cool.
We've had numbers for 1,000 years that was better than this.
Of course you're going to
We
zag.
honor nothing.
Okay.
Anyway, emails at Ringer
he was a
Fantasy
soldier of
Football
Rome.
at gmail.com. You have thoughts on the
Honor
Roman
him.
numerals.
Okay, my next one here. This is the
Hold
important
on,
stuff.
wait.
Oh,
have
okay.
you seen 38 in Roman numerals?
Why that number?
You'll see why is that number.
Because it's weird.
Look at that.
It's weird looking.
That was a Super Bowl.
I get that, though.
XXXV111.
I can read that.
See, that's actually the easiest to
Yeah,
do the
to me,
math in
that's
your
the
head.
best one.
10, 10, 10, 8.
I don't think there's anyone that's better than that.
How long do you think it's going to take John Baptiste to sing the national anthem? Here's my thoughts. If you don't know who he is, multi-talented guy, musician, pianist, singer, plays a million different instruments, used to be the band leader for Colbert. He's from Louisiana. I've gone back, I've grinded tape on JB, and great call, JB, and he always hits the over. I've timed him every time, and he hits the over.
I feel like you said this last year.
I did, and I got it wrong. I think I'm like 0 for 5.
I was like, this sounds so familiar.
People, this is the real Costanza. Whatever point I make in the next 60 seconds, fade that.
I actually kind of want to see someone if anyone bets everything we said but the opposite, and they become like a billionaire.
So
that's actually not bad.
He sang at a basketball game. He clocked in at like 90 seconds. Right now, the spread's 120. So
wait, 90 seconds, and how could you even stretch that to 40 seconds?
Because
30 seconds less?
Because
40.
Here's my thinking.
Wait.
I don't think he's going to sing.
Oh, no, 30. DK's right.
I
was like, what?
I'm wrong. I'm not good at math.
He's still doing it in Roman
I'm not good
numerals.
at math and Arabic either.
I was like, I could be wrong. It's definitely common.
I'm not positive he's going to sing. So he did another one where he basically plays like 3 different instruments, and he switches between guitar and piano, and it's a big arena. He's not known as like a vocalist.
But you don't think he's going to sing the anthem?
No, I think I think it's going to be instrumental, and I've seen him do it before. Like
Bring
I said,
that Navy
at an NBA
guy
game.
on.
Yeah, that guy was great. And so yeah, I think he's going to do like some genre bending thing, and when he played instruments only, it went way over.
This is great.
Yeah.
I like this.
This is good. I can't wait for him to start singing.
I'm all in on this.
Like in the middle of the national anthem, and everyone's like all quiet, and he's going to open his mouth and start singing. Craig's like,
yeah. Because here's the issue.
Who was it last year? Because you were dead wrong about that.
Was it Reba McEntire?
Yes.
Reba. No.
That bitch. She ruined me.
Whoa.
I'm ruined.
Great show, Reba.
Yeah, legend. Been around a long time, that Reba. The heavy juice is on the over. So people are siding with me. People think he's going to go long. So I don't know. Maybe we Zach. Here's the thing. He just doesn't have the pipes. He can't hold it. He can't hold those like belts.
Do you think that he's going to use that as bulletin board material?
Yeah.
The thing is he could kind of he improvises a little bit. He'll like kind of like finish a word and then like jam in a couple other words that aren't in the song and then go back to the
little
lyrics.
fills.
So I think he's just so kind of creative and interesting that I'm probably going to go the over, but I guess that's what the public's on. So fade that. He'll probably just zip through it. Get in and out.
The funniest part of this whole
play
thing
it like
is
really just by the numbers.
Like, oh, say, can you see?
There's going to be absolutely
it's like the Mavs.
And
it's
the
like,
home of the brave. Thank you.
Just like monotone.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Then the instrumental thing. Don't forget I
think
said
I'm
that.
betting the under.
That's good.
Yeah, you should. You should bet the under. Because if he sings, he'll zip through it.
Oh my God.
National anthem, also the halftime show. The other one was, so there's a bet here that's if the first song of halftime is Humble and the last song is Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar, that's 7-1.
Okay.
Which
the halftime show song bets are one of the, they like haunt me. I will never be able to get that
Craig
right.
wakes up in a cold sweat.
I have no idea. I'll bet whatever you want.
Honestly, those bets are rigged. They're the only bets that leak because like actually hundreds of people here. But I will say, I was starting to think about what songs Kendrick does. And then you start with, well, there's time. And I think they're doing more songs now. I really think he's like, it's like you get 10, 13 minutes, whatever. And like, you do 3, 4. And now it's like people are cutting songs and going into more. So I think the over-under on songs he does is like 9, like the Dre, they do so many songs now. But I will say, the pop out, he did not like us 6 times, which does beg the question, like, does he do not like us more than once? Does he like run the first verse back again? Or does he just do it one time? Because the song is 6 minutes.
In a halftime show before, where they do the same song twice?
No, but he made a point to stomp on Kendrick on Drake's grave.
Just like, so the crowd can scream A minor.
Yes, he literally wants. Dude, also we haven't talked about this yet. Where is Drake watching this game? What is Drake doing on Super Bowl Sunday? Did you see at the Grammys?
He's doing chores, trying to take his mind off of things.
Dude, just doing laundry.
Staying busy, puttering.
He should get a flip phone and go off the grid.
Darkness Retreat, maybe.
Right.
Darkness Retreat. Is he actually going to watch? He's not going to watch the halftime show, right?
No way.
But then 100 million people are going to be like, A minor.
100 million people?
Yeah, think about
that. Well,
in unison.
Dude,
That's tough.
Taylor Swift and everyone at the Grammys sang it. Like, anyway. I think it's the most anxiety brain thing I've ever seen that will play out in real life. Is like Drake being like, what if like someone, calls me like a pedophile at the Super Bowl halftime show? And you're like, dude, come on. You're catastrophizing. That won't happen to you. And it's like, no. And everyone's going to sing along. Like, it's kind of like, it's a crazy thing that's going to happen.
There is that, but how does that compare to Liam Cohen saying Duval? That's bad.
Well, but the difference is the main reaction to that when we said that on the show was everyone's like, what does that mean? And you're like, oh yeah, it's the Jaguars. That's the county they play in. No one knows what that means.
Yeah, I was being facetious.
Okay.
Obviously getting called out is way worse.
What's the worst thing that could happen?
What's the worst thing that could happen?
Oh, come on. It can't be that bad, right?
So you're going to bet
I think he has to
humble
do
and then not like us?
He has to do not like us. And
what is the bet? What are the bet options?
Right.
I don't think he's starting with humble.
I don't think he starts with humble either, but I think he does all right. And I think he does not like us. And from that point, it's like humble. I think he does a portion of TV off because he has to yell the mustard. Like he's going to yell mustard. Mm-hmm. So I think those 4 songs are good bets. And then at that point, like all the stars. And then I start wondering about Bad Blood. And here's why.
Taylor.
Stop.
Will Taylor Swift appear on stage during the Super Bowl halftime show? Probably not. But she's there. They have a song together. Probably it is not. 50-1, which feels about right.
Mm-hmm.
So you're looking at me like you're so like.
I don't think she will. I think that her upstaging Travis Kelce and then they potentially lose the game is just like a terrible look.
Right. Oh, like if she does it and they lose and everyone blames her?
She would not. And then it would be like Taylor Swift stole the moment from her boyfriend.
It's probably a good call.
But all the stars, SZA coming out would be cool.
Also, then that would just like strengthen all the conspiracy theory people who are like,
that's a good point.
The NFL just wanted the Chiefs to get here, so Taylor Swift could
those are my
at the halftime
then those
show.
are my 5 I'm betting on. All right, not like I don't know the order. All right, humble, TV off, all the stars, and then ends with not like us.
You guys, I'm getting the K-Smog and Zhushka thing going on here. I don't know what I don't
flip a grunt. What is it?
Grunt? Yeah.
We're just naming songs.
No, I know. But I don't know the names of the songs.
No, yeah. That's all right.
I know Not Like Us because it's popular right now. It's famous.
If anyone knows what Drake's doing on Sunday, please email us at ringerfantasyfootball@gmail.com. All right, let's get to the part of the show that matters. Everything else kind of wasn't important.
Oh,
These are a bunch of Tom Brady prop bets that we also have to mine to get some Tom Brady drinking game stuff. Among them, how many times will Tom Brady's voice crack during the game? Over, under 2.5?
Who's monitoring that? Because I actually would like to nominate myself. That? I feel most equipped.
Yeah. What's a crack?
Yeah. I think I can determine better than anyone else what is a Tom Brady voice crack. This is crazy. That counted as one. He said that twice.
I kind of wish that was one. I think this is crazy. Has to be on the drinking game.
I'm so actually happy that we're not going to this game and that we get to watch it together on a big TV and we get to just shower ourselves in Tom Brady for
I can't wait
3.5 hours.
I'm gonna be so excited to talk to you guys.
Do you guys want? Yeah.
After,
so
I know you're gonna have like 5 screens.
I was under the impression that I could talk to you guys a little bit during the flight.
The flight?
But you shut that down.
Well, I'm gonna be locked into my screen.
Yeah, no.
I'll be looking at medium screen for 4.5 hours.
Well, so I will say, so Robert,
you're just gonna be like smiling, so happy. I've got entertainment. I've got a screen here.
Robert emailed us
next to you.
Robert emailed
watching
us
3 movies at once while on TikTok.
God.
3rd time's the
with
charm.
My Oculus on.
Oculus.
Oh my God.
Robert emailed us and said after this trip, he kind of like after DK does 4 hours in his own thoughts. Robert was like, I kind of want a rundown of what he was thinking about.
Craig's just living in the metaverse, smiling the whole time.
Isn't it weird they named it Meta and then we're like, we give up on that.
So that was one of my best calls. I was like, this ain't happening.
Yeah, no.
Ain't nobody gonna be meeting as a little cartoon avatar.
Mark Zuckerberg's like, don't you want to see Minecraft Eiffel Tower?
I'm like, I'm good.
No.
This seems dumb.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was the email?
I'd like to see the real faces
from
of
Rob.
the people
Well,
I
no,
work
someone
with.
said basically they don't want to give you like a pad and paper, but like I kind of also agree
Wait,
with
what are we talking about?
when DK does the raw dog flight and it's just in his own thoughts for 4 hours.
Right.
He can't do anything. I kind of do want to know what he's thinking about, but I don't want to let him get the writing thing because that'll kind of be nice. But
That's a release.
I do kind of want a rundown of him recapping what he was thinking about for 4 hours.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, what's going on?
I'm going to go into a fugue state.
I told him, I was like, you're going to come up with like 5 fantastic ideas.
Yeah.
That will probably end up being the most beneficial thing we've ever done on this show.
He's going to be like a totally
He's going to be like, I figured out how to make our podcast the biggest podcast in America.
I actually think the hardest part is going to be staying awake.
Like,
that's actually going to be
We'll wake you up.
Well, that's what the air horn's for.
Yeah.
On a plane.
That's what the spray bottle's for.
we could bring a spray bottle on him.
Yeah,
right?
certainly.
Why can't we?
Down mini-me. Sorry, that joke didn't really age that well.
No, those.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's all right. Different time. Anytimes. Anyway. Can I hit you with a prop?
Yeah.
Please.
This one baffled me. So it's Saquon's 28th birthday on the day of the Super Bowl. He turns 28 years old.
Oh, right.
You see the Schefter
Adam
tweet where
Schefter
he's
told
like,
us twice.
Saquon Barkley's birthday's on the Super Bowl.
He will be turning 28.
So on the Super Bowl, he will turn 28. Okay. The over-under for how many times the word birthday will be said is 1.5 times.
Oh, you got to take the over.
I think it's
minimum 4.
Well, I think that the argument against is
the first carry he gets, it will get a mention.
I think they say, well, he turned 28 today. And then if he scores a birthday, it's like, I think if he scores a touchdown, it's 100% the calls.
Anytime he has a good play, they're going to be like, on his birthday.
If he scores a touchdown, they will say birthday. And
it's over 1.5. That's the easiest one ever.
And I think the first rush of the game, they will say, and it's Saquon's 28th birthday today. I guess they could say he turned 28 today, but I think they're going to say birthday.
No, I think so too. The other one's rematch 2.5 times. I'm like, I'd rather go birthday 1.5. Like, that's better.
Yeah.
I think they're going to lean into the birthday thing. You're right. The other one, the primary color of Tom Brady's tie.
I have thoughts on this.
Okay, I do too.
I think it's going to be black.
Raiders?
I think it's going to be black too. Okay, so
Raiders?
the odds here are so skewed.
Maybe that's why, but
I agree.
Yeah.
Why black?
So
Raiders are just like to not lean anyway.
Immediately went to black because
look at these odds. Blue is 2-1. Gray and silver's 3-1 because the Raiders. No ties. That's not happening. Red is 6-1. No chance he's wearing red, the color of the teams. He's not wearing green or red. There's 0 chance. So if he's not wearing green, it's 12-1. That's crazy. Pink he's not wearing. Yellow he's not wearing. So it's like black is 12-1. I'm like, so if Brady just wears a black suit with a black tie, you get 12-1 odds. This is remember when I said, and you guys made fun of me, the most money I've ever made on a prop bet was Romo prediction and the color of his tie. I think we should put a lot of money on 12-1 for Romo's tie. Brady's tie is black.
Why is blue such low odds?
Because I don't know, blue tie. It's like, dark blue, light blue, middle blue.
A
lot of blues. There's only one black.
See, what's nice about black is if he wears a black suit or a gray suit, black works.
Yeah.
And those are probably
he's a Raiders co-owner, like black,
Look at that suit. I'm looking at some of the pictures of him in the booth. He did wear the blue tie a handful of times.
Yeah.
That's
Am I looking
why.
at
No,
most
I think
ties
that's
are
black.
That's black.
But he's worn black ties several times. I don't know why. I've just noticed it because it's like it feels like he's wearing a tuxedo.
I do feel like
the tuxedos are kind of fucked up kind of deal.
I think he likes a black suit and a black tie.
Yeah, he does.
I think I'm not going to lie.
This is a great call.
Of anything we've had the whole time on the show, I think that Brady wearing a black tie is the literal best bet. 12. Because I feel like
he wore a black tie with a gray shirt here.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing.
And then he's wearing a black tie with a white shirt.
You can get away with a black tie with almost any suit color.
And I don't think he can wear gray or silver because it's like leaning into the Raiders owner thing.
I think he can wear.
Black,
you're talking tie
black
wise.
is plausible deniability that it's not a Raiders tie.
That's right.
So
down
I think
the
it's
middle.
really just going to be blue or black, and blue is 3-1 and black is 12-1. I'm like, take the 12-1.
I love it. Let's hammer it.
I love it.
How many times will Jason Kelce be shown?
What's the line?
Over under 2.5. They've been showing him less. They've been leaning like even Taylor Swift is
shown on the broadcast, like in the booth or whatever, or like
on the
features,
stands.
right?
Not like when the game starts, the game ends. How many times is he on?
Well,
TV?
now it's like he works for ESPN and Amazon. It doesn't behoove Fox to show.
I agree.
Jason
Also,
Kelce.
twice is a lot. They got to go back a third time because there's him. But every time Kelce does it, think about like this. Every time Kelce does something, you got his mom, you got Jason, and you got Taylor Swift.
Yep.
And Kelsey's doing less than ever. So if you think about it, 2.5 is low because you got to show Taylor twice before you show Jason Kelsey twice, and you got to show his mom once before you show Jason Kelsey 3 times. So I would go under.
The only problem is if it's a wide shot every time with the whole gang up there.
Does that count?
Oh, yeah. Like if they're that's the other one is who is Jason Kelsey sitting next to? Favorites Donna Kelsey, Taylor Swift's 3-1. Are they watching this game together?
They're probably all going to be in the booth.
But they like never watch together. They're like in
He's
different
like in
sides of
the
suite.
back.
Yeah.
He's like hanging out, like slamming
It just
beers.
depends.
Rowdier.
If there's wide shots, you could get screwed here with the over.
Yeah.
Or with the under, I mean. Also, why is Jason Kelsey's wife not on this list? Why wouldn't he be
Kylie
sitting
Kelsey?
with her? Yeah. Why is she not top
Does
5
she not
in
go to the
odds?
games?
She not go to the games?
Yeah,
He's
she-
more
I mean,
likely
I'm
to be
sure
sitting with
she is.
Bradley Cooper than his wife?
I like the Bradley Cooper
That's a
one.
good point. Yeah, his wife isn't on here. That kind of feels like we're getting screwed.
I don't know. Maybe she doesn't like to go to the games.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if he just sits next to his wife, everyone loses.
All right, that's a pretty good point when you put it like that. Damn, you think that's how they keep making all this gambling
Probably.
companies keep
Well,
making
not
all the
him
money?
because he'll be sitting next to his wife.
What?
He's not going to lose.
Yeah, we're gonna lose.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
The bet.
The bet, yes.
That's what he was talking about.
What are we
It just
talking
sounded
about?
funny because you said if he sits by his wife, everyone loses. But then I was like, including him. It was a dad joke. It wasn't very good.
It was kind of
We
late.
can move on.
I kind of had forgotten his exact wording, and I didn't really pick up. But yeah. Will AJ
yeah.
Brown be shown reading a book?
No.
I kind of think yes.
I actually
think
think
yes.
I lean yes as well. The odds suggest that they know something. Plus 550, those are
They
not
know
that good of
something.
odds.
Because you know why? He says he brings it to the sideline for the games. And if you're the Super Bowl, you're like, you're going to show the book.
It's a bit now.
It's a bit like the Super Bowl is going to show AJ Brown reading the book.
But hold on. I'm reading the sentence again. Will AJ Brown be shown live reading a book?
Oh, so if it's a replay of him doing it earlier and they have to acknowledge it,
Or
then
if it's just like a picture of the book sitting on the bench, that doesn't count. He has to be reading it.
Like if
thumbing
they just
through it.
find
Yes.
it.
He has to like be looking down at
He's
the
not
book.
doing
with it
That's
open.
what they're going to do. I think that they wouldn't show the book. They would show him reading the book. Oh, I see what you're saying though.
I don't know. If it's just sitting on his lap unopened, they could cut to that.
Yeah.
I
That'd be
don't
a
know.
brutal beat.
It would be. That would
Man.
be
That's how they get
SVT.
you. And
Bad beats.
if his wife is there next to him, doesn't count.
Where's his wife? Why isn't she reading the book next to him?
Yeah.
I have one more before we finish up. I was looking through odds. What sickos out there are betting which TV advertisement will get shown first?
Oh, I like
Booking.com
those.
versus Bosch.
Ooh, Bosch. I need a new washing machine.
Bosch, the
if you're
show?
out there, I need a specific Bosch because it fits in the. I need it fixed.
You're telling me someone's like sweating out whether it's Little Caesars versus Nerd Wallet?
Mm-hmm.
I actually have a take.
What a
on these
disaster.
are. No, I have a take. Do you want to know what I think these are?
Yeah.
The places that
I
offer
like it,
these.
Craig.
You do?
I
It's fun.
think
I think this is a sicko
No.
special.
This is like what we do when we all get together at a bar and watch a game. Everybody puts $1 down in it, and then you like choose car commercial, like pop or soda
you
or whatever.
actually do this.
Yeah. Or beer or whatever.
Mhm.
Insurance is a good one. And then you all pick one, and whatever it is wins.
I
the
guess
pot.
it's like a slot machine. You put in $1 and you have a good time. But anybody putting real money on this,
I'm not saying
about
that.
Well, I think these.
I hope
think,
you're not putting real
I
money
think the
on this.
companies when they're like, oh, GoDaddy versus Bosch. I think Bosch and GoDaddy emailed the gambling companies and were like, can you make this a thing so we'll talk about it on the show? And I actually think this is how advertising works.
Oh yeah.
Is we're doing that
Is it
for them.
Bosch the show or Bosch the company?
I think it's the European dryer company who made my dryer. I need a new washing machine, Bosch. If anyone from Bosch is listening, I really need a new washing
It's
machine.
so shameless of you.
Bosch.
I do. It's a huge problem. I have a 10-day trip I'm coming back from after this. I'm going to have a lot of laundry. to
Lay's
do.
versus Hellman's, mayo versus chips.
Oh,
I'm into these.
it's a Hellman's year.
See, like what? I don't understand. So Little Caesars versus Nerd Wallet, even odds. They're both minus 115. And yet Lay's versus Hellman's. Hellman's is the heavy favorite. Why? What do they know? They either know or they don't?
Oh my
This is
Is somebody telling
Man, I don't
the
understand.
Fox broadcasters? Like, is there a Fox broadcasters mole
They know a guy.
who is telling the betting sites, hey, I'm pretty sure
Do you
Lay's
think
is
if
going to
you're
run
one of
after
the
world
Hellman's?
people talk.
Do you think it's one of the people who like booked the commercial? Do you think they're not allowed to bet on this? Like, no one thought that there would be a betting market for this, right?
No, I guess not.
What are the odds that someone at an advertising company was like, by the way,
It's just funny. Minus 190 is not too heavy. It's like somebody at Fox was like, hey, I think it's going to be Hellman's. Can't confirm. And then for Little
This is
Caesars
like
versus Nerd Wallet,
insider trading.
he's like, I got no idea.
okay, we have another show doing our Super Bowl preview again, but with like more thought put into it later this week. But live from the FanDuel set, you watch on YouTube, big fancy FanDuel set coming up. couple emails before we get out of here.
Emails.
All right, this is from Jesse.
Jesse.
All right, this is because Craig didn't know the supermarket chain Aldi. Actually, you didn't know it either, DK, right?
Never heard of it.
So Jesse emailed in to say Aldi, the criminally slept upon discount supermarket chain, is headquartered in my hometown of Batavia, Illinois, which is just 3 miles north of the Fermi Lab, the second largest particle accelerator in the world.
Oh.
Wow.
Behind only Mason Graham, aka
Small world.
But the other one, key here, is from Pavel.
Pavel.
The owners
Pavel?
of Aldi and Trader Joe's are brothers and went into competition with each other. They are a family feud.
Is Aldi his name? Is it Joe and
So
Aldi?
it's the Albrecht family. They're German. The Albrecht family. Brothers were Theo and Karl Albrecht, and together they ran and expanded Aldi, which is a combo of Albrecht and Discount, which is the German word for discount. And in 1946, they took over their mom Anna's original store, grew it out, and then in 1961, they split the company because they had a dispute over whether they should sell cigarettes.
This happens more often than it doesn't. Where a
feels like-
family
yeah, I'm
starts
like-
a business,
yeah.
there's a dispute, they split, and then have rival
I feel like
businesses.
I'm having deja vu because I feel like we've talked about this with a totally
I
different
think we did.
Yes.
industry.
So Carl didn't want to sell cigarettes because he thought it would.
It's like the the people that made the store right next to each other.
Yeah,
or something.
pizza companies that were like,
Right.
they
it's
shared
always
a
like
building.
that. There's always like 2 hot dog stands right across the street from one another,
Yeah.
and every day they just like wake up and they're like,
yeah, they hate each other. Dude, there was a deli in my town. Shout out Boetti's, R.I.P. And Boetti's was incredible. And Boetti's had, one was owned by, shout out Mike, and then there was another one who, I think it was Mike's mom owned one, and they made chicken cutlets slightly different. And they both insisted that they made it better.
And yeah, like never underestimate the power of human pettiness.
Yeah.
In
I love chicken
world.
cutlets. The
Mike's
best.
mom made it better.
Mike's mom
I
did?
love you, Mike Boetti, but like, yeah, the
mom
mom
did?
the mom had the better ones.
What did she do?
Well, I don't know. It's a
Different
family
secret,
secret.
dude.
Oh, could you tell by like,
I
Were you
could
like,
do
oh,
a
this is
blind
more
taste.
bread,
I
or
knew
this
which
is-
one came from which place.
but you
Yes.
couldn't kind of taste what the difference was?
I don't know what it was, but I could tell
Something was
which
better.
one. Yeah,
Interesting.
I could tell.
I make chicken cutlets all the time.
Dude, chicken cutlets are
Oh
great.
yeah.
Like probably once every 2 or 3 weeks, I make chicken cutlets.
Really?
What
Well,
do
don't
you
you
do?
put, Frank, you put hot sauce or buffalo sauce in your chicken?
No, that was a specific Molly Baz recipe.
Molly
where
Baz, she's great.
She's wonderful. She lost her house in the fire. So
Oh, no.
donate. I believe go to her Instagram. Yeah, there's like one recipe where you mix in sesame seeds with the breadcrumbs, and then you mix in hot sauce with the eggs, and then add hot sauce at the end.
Ooh.
Very good.
Yeah, yeah.
But I do make chicken cutlets all the time.
Breaded?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, I mean,
Egg, flour,
I think,
breadcrumbs.
isn't that, you have to, if it's not breaded, it's not a cutlet, right?
I don't know.
Correct. Well, when you buy them raw, you can buy raw chicken cutlets that are just thinly sliced pieces of chicken breast. They call those cutlets. I don't know. I don't know if a cutlet is the finished product or if it's just the size of the piece of chicken breast.
If DK says pasta salad's not pasta, then a chicken cutlet a baked chicken breast is not a chicken cutlet.
No, that's right. You got to
Yeah.
bread that. You got to bread it.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll make you guys chicken cutlets in LA.
Okay.
These guys were sharing pictures with each other of their bread that they were baking.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Heifetz
You have a
and I.
child,
They're
you watch
big
on your Ring
bakers
camera,
over here.
and Craig and I show each other our sourdough.
Marveling over our loaves.
Craig,
It's
if
like,
you have
gotta
sourdough,
score it. You
email
gotta
us
score
at
it.
He didn't score his
winnerfantasyfootball@gmail.com if you have tips for sourdough. I'm making sourdough now. I've started my sourdough journey because I'm 30 now.
Yep.
I'm about to be.
Yep.
And yeah, Craig, you actually helped me a lot.
Thank you. Except you really didn't score the bread.
I forgot to score.
Which
It came out okay
and that-
though.
yeah, but that's. I mean, I think the crust would have gotten much crispier and browner had you scored it.
Is that? Yeah.
It's literally the
I
last step,
forgot.
and it's the
I know.
easiest part of the whole
I
process.
I was not going on. I forgot. It's my first time.
I
What
bought
were you
a-
talking about? Like on the inside,
When you have to cut it,
the-
you have to cut the little.
You were talking about how his bread looked from like a grain point of view.
The crumb structure.
Crumb structure is
Yeah.
what I was looking for.
Uh-huh.
Yes,
Yeah, he had a
that was
good-looking crumb.
scintillating.
Yeah.
Um.
I love making bread.
Yeah.
10 years from now, if somebody told me you live in the woods and make bread, I'd be like, I'm living
That's
a
sick.
good life.
The good life.
Playing Farmville.
Tending to my
making-
watermelons.
Baking bread and playing Farmville.
That sounds great.
All right. We have
So
our.
wait, the Trader Joe guy won, right?
Well, I mean, I don't know.
Right?
I mean, I think they're both dead. So. Did
So
anyone-
ultimately, no one won.
Spoiler. Okay, so we have another show coming this week. We're gonna hit Brady on. We're gonna figure out the Brady drinking game. Hopefully by then, and we're also. What was the other thing I was gonna say? I don't know. We're gonna talk a lot of Super Bowl,
Yeah.
and then we'll also have to figure out the terms of DK the raw dog flight on that one as well.
I might try to run 16 miles an hour tomorrow on a
if we can-
treadmill.
check out the Instagram. We have a lot of stuff coming on Instagram and TikTok this week. Follow us on Instagram,
I
TikTok,
can't
Ring
wait for
Fantasy
that.
Football, and yeah. So thank you, DK. Thank you, Craig. Thank you to Carlos. Thank you, Ronick. Thank you, Gahao. Thank you, Corey. There's so many people here at the Super Bowl that are like crushing
Arjuna,
it.
Kiera.
Arjuna, Kiera. They're over there now, but thank you.
Thank you, Kai.
They left.
They left. I think they were really bored by the Aldi thing. Thank you to everyone
They're
here.
like
Thank you,
crumb
Austin.
structure. I'm leaving.
It's pretty
And
interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you to Hank's Oyster Bar in Washington, D.C., who Jackie went to brunch with some friends, hooked it up, got a seafood tower. Shit. Shout out to Hank's Oyster Bar.
Hank's
DC
Oyster
staple.
Bar. Go.
We went there before our live show.
Goated.
Shout out Hank's Oyster Bar.
Oh, yeah, we did. That was great.
It was good.
Right. There's
It's
a couple
cute.
of them, right?
Yeah, they do goldfish at the beginning. It's cute.
Couple of them?
Yeah, it's a few, I think. Yeah. And thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Chapel Roan.
Ooh, look at you.
Did you watch her
In touch
performance
with
at the
the
Grammys?
youth.
I did not, but I heard about it.
I thought the Grammys were the best award show I've ever seen.
I agree. Straight up. Best Grammys ever.
Yeah.
Best award show ever.
Best award show ever?
Yeah.
It actually was like,
that I've
I
ever
feel
seen.
like you don't realize, like start to finish, I was like, this whole thing is pretty good. Maybe there's like 5 down minutes in like 3 hours. I was like,
I will say,
I thought it
people-
skewed very young, and it's why
Yeah.
a lot of people our age probably liked it.
definitely
I
skewed to us.
thought the production quality was fantastic. I thought the fire stuff was very tasteful and really well done.
And the only part of the whole thing that was cringe was they wrote a new song for the fires, and it was kind of bad. But what are you going to do? Be the Ebenezer Scrooge of the fire song raising money? So it's like, it was fine.
You know
It
what I
was
loved?
nice
I
that
mean,
they
you're
tried.
kind of doing that right now.
No, but I'm saying even that it was a nice thought. John Legend was on the piano, and
But it was bad.
Well,
It was-
It's
it was cute.
Okay.
It was a good try.
it was emotional.
Yeah.
It actually
It was
was
very
very
good.
emotional. Some of the interstitials they showed the little segments of what like the damage.
no, it was nice,
really
and they
sad.
had like they had all these small businesses that were local.
that was
were
amazing.
It was really like well thought out. Like
They
they had
did
all
these
these.
small business commercials, but then in between during commercial breaks, but then the celebrities would show up in the commercial to be like support this local business.
So it was like a
really
local,
nice.
like a
Be like a flower
Taekwondo-
shop, and,
yeah.
then like
Taekwondo.
Anderson Paak
and-
shows up and he's like, support this awesome small business.
It was really nice.
Very
And
cool.
like they did a good job. And Trevor Noah, he literally did the thing I love where he was like, everyone has to donate right now. All the people, also all you corporate people up there, everyone like, no, really, there's a QR seat in all your seats. Like it was, but also the music was good too.
What's your favorite Chapel Roan song, Daniel?
How can you choose, really?
Yeah, so many good
I
ones.
can't. I don't think I can choose.
No.
They're all
There's too many.
Yeah.
so good.
What's your
You
favorite
like the one where they
chorus?
spell?
How does that one
Again,
go that you
I
love?
mean, you're putting me on the spot here. It's just impossible to really choose one.
My favorite song
Yeah.
on that album is I think slightly under the radar.
Can I guess what your favorite song is?
Sure.
Naked
I
in
thought that was
Manhattan.
the name of the
No.
song.
Oh.
Slightly Under the Radar.
No, but
Oh.
that
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Oh, should we make Chapel Roan songs along? What's your favorite one on the album?
Super graphic, ultra modern girl.
Oh, okay.
That song bangs.
Wow. Okay.
I'm not ashamed. It's a
Right.
great song. The whole album's good.
It is good.
It's great.
I thought Sabrina Carpenter's performance was fun.
I agree. She has like a 50s vibe.
Yeah. When
Kind of
she
a-
like dropped the thing and then walked down the stairs and went all the way under the stairs or whatever.
Yeah, she has
That was
great.
good.
She's great at performing comedy on stage.
Physical comedy.
It's a lost art.
Yeah.
We haven't seen it since I don't know who. Jim Carrey,
Generations.
Chris Farley. Yeah.
It's
Who's the
back.
best physical comedian right now? There's not a lot.
Oh, that's a good question.
It's like Jack Black probably, but he's not doing that anymore.
Yeah,
I
it's
feel
been a
like
minute.
physical comedy was outsourced to like videos of actual people getting hurt on social media.
Totally.
Like there's just so many videos of real people getting hurt that I'm like, I don't know if anyone can fake it anymore.
I also think there's like
I wanna
now
think
you can
about
kind
this.
of CGI a guy falling down the stairs
Oh,
rather than
yeah.
having him just do it.
Yeah.
Like Jack Black's School of Rock, great physical comedy. Will Ferrell's was really good at it. Hasn't been doing it a lot
I
lately.
know, that's
They're all
true.
getting older. We don't
Yeah.
have like a 35-year-old who's crushing it.
They're not running 16 miles an hour on a treadmill.
Yeah, there's
anymore.
going to be some physical comedy
Oh
tomorrow
yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, that'll be or a physical tragedy.
in that Marriott
I actually
gym.
really want to think about this some more and get back to you.
On the running or
best
Chapel
physical
Roan?
comedy. No, the best physical comedy.
When you
Oh.
think of your favorite song, let me know.
Okay. I will. Honestly, I don't know if I'll be able to choose.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. I don't know if I can choose for
Right.
fairness to the song.
It would be disrespectful.
Right. I
be
don't want to
honest.
do that.
No. All right.
Goodbye, everyone.
Please, somebody buy DK Chapel Roan tickets.